Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome on in Sports Take. Network, Derek Dunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. What up, everybody? What's up, fellas? How we doing? How was the week?
Bro, I had a great weekend.
Oh, what's the matter with Gunner? What's going on? What happened?
I'm numb from the neck up, bro. Well, so, like I told you guys, we, my 3-year-old grandson, him and his mom, they live with us. And so my other daughter, her and her husband are both RNs, and they both work overnight shifts because, they work like 3, 4, 12-hour shifts a week. Then they get like 5 days off. I'm like, I could give me a job like this, So every, once or twice a week, we keep the 11-month-old granddaughter overnight, which means my wife and I, we ain't young as we used to be. We got to dig into the well. Hey, man, 1:30 a.m. feedings, 4:30. So my wife had to my daughter had to make up some days because she was sick earlier with the virus. And so we've had her since Friday. So Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, we've had her and love her to death. She is the easiest baby on the planet to take care of. But man, let me tell you something.
Oh boy, here it comes.
Look, man, when you get up at 7 in the morning and, we got the crib right at the foot of our bed in my bedroom, and the closer you get, the more you smell. It's like, man. Ooh. So I've been up since 7:25 this morning, and she's standing up just laughing, having a good old time. And she's like, yeah, Grandpa, you got some business to take care of over here.
Oh, geez.
And I'm like, what did you eat?
Oh,
one of those.
They do, man. It's sleep and poop, basically. That's it, cry occasionally.
The life.
Yeah, exactly.
And she's at that age now, man. She's everything. She loves strawberries, blueberries. You cut them up real fine. She eats oatmeal. She eats everything now, man. If I had one baby, if my oldest baby was like her, I'd have had 20 kids.
Oh, geez.
I'm telling you, she's that easy to take care of, man. But it's like, my wife and I, we in our 20s anymore, so it's like
you're supposed to be in hand back mode, right?
Right.
Yeah, like, hey, woo, let's have fun and let's go. Here you go, Mom and Dad. Your problem now.
Yeah, but it works like that, but it doesn't in our house. See, my wife and I, we're all about kids. We're all about our kids, and our family always comes before us. And we take a bullet. Except we're supposed to split the duties. Except on Friday night and last night, I'm the one getting up. My wife, 3 sheets to the wind. She ain't moving. she ain't moving, Jack. I didn't hear the babies wake up. Of course you did, because you were a corpse. Of course you did that baby. That baby moves. I'm up. Yeah. And I'm like, hold up. I thought we were supposed to work in shifts. So, like I said, man, today I've been up since 7:25. Man, it's like I can't even feel my face right now. So
you're the weekend.
If you guys see me doing this, it ain't personal. It's just business. I'm just saying, What John Dickinson said, I got to stop feeding the baby brisket. No, we haven't got to that point
yet. That's right.
No, we haven't got to that point yet. No,
not yet.
Not even
maybe in a couple months you will. Yeah. That's awesome, man. Well, Barry, you seem to be chipper. What went down with you this weekend, man?
Oh man, I was nothing really. I just worked on my boat. That's about it. I put a trolling motor on my boat, man. It's got the spot lock on it and all that good stuff. So I'm happy, man. I'm a happy camper, man. I get to take it out on Father's Day.
Nice.
Is Father's Day Sunday or Saturday?
This coming Sunday.
It's Sunday. All right, because on Saturday, my grandson called me. He said, Pop, is it summertime yet? I said, yeah, summertime. I knew it. Dad, I knew it. He turned around, Dad, I knew it. It is summertime. Pop, the pool is open. I said, yes, the pool is open.
Snap.
He literally asked me, well, Pop, how come I'm not there? How come I'm not there? I said, well, I'm coming to pick you up this week. Well, you said that last week. I said, did I? I had to think about, did I? So, yes, I'm going to pick my grandson up on Saturday. So, actually, so I would have been there on Friday, but, Jaws' golf tournament is on Friday.
This coming Friday?
Okay.
Yes, it's on Friday. But
Okay.
the faithful guy I am to you guys, I'm still going to make. I told him I needed to golf it. I'm on the 6:50 tee time.
Yeah, okay.
Oh,
So
you're playing before the show.
Yeah.
Whoa, man, early.
So
Okay.
6:50.
Hold up. This dude is the king of the golf circuit. Did you hear what he just said? Because I'm faithful to you guys. This man's been in New York playing golf, Philly.
But I do have one on Monday though.
Here we go.
And this is your boy Barkans.
Nobody care about that. Nobody care about
I got to
that,
do Barkans, man. Well,
You gotta go.
It's another shot,
kidding.
man.
I'm just kidding, man. I'm just playing.
Yeah, you do your thing, man. You do your thing, and they're all for charity anyway. So
Yes,
it's all good.
Right, right. Anything for charity is a good thing.
It is all good. It's
Well,
all
what about my charity? I mean, I'm always investing in your Get D-Gun to California charity.
No, wait. You have not donated $1, not one stinking dollar to help D-Gun get back to Southern California Foundation. Not one. And I've been asking you for 5 years.
Checks, money orders, cash, straight cash, homie, whatever you want to do, man.
Rob, all he talks about, I'm working on my boats. I'm rebuilding my cars, which means he's got money to put into those things.
No,
but
because I have no money. Because if I had money, I'd take it to the shop.
It all goes into that stuff.
Can he help a brother out and donate to the Help D-Gun move back to Southern California Foundation? No.
I wouldn't hold your breath on that one, man.
No, because he's cheap. That's what cheap.
Oh, cheap.
Well, I'm not that cheap. You know why I'm not that cheap?
Why?
Because you were going to talk about this, Rob, but you got me on this damn Amazon right now. Looking up this bug assault 3.0.
Yeah, we need to get into this, okay?
I just ordered. Hold on, Rob. We're gonna get into. Listen to this.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just ordered the gun. The gun was $54.
No, you did. You ordered one?
Yes, but then I had to get the laser light because I knew you didn't have a laser light, so I got a laser light with it. Laser light.
Whoa, hold on. They come with the laser lights
now? Well, you have to get it extra. It's extra. It's $15.99.
I'm going to Cabela's and get it.
He already won up you, Derek, on your bug shooter.
But what about this premium salt? I mean, there's a premium salt you can use. Why am I use premium salt on the just regular salt, right?
Table salt. Don't let them get you. Don't let them rope you in there.
We got to show people what we're talking about. Xander, we have that. I need to see this.
And I'll tell the story once it gets.
I need to see this bad boy while you do it. All right, go ahead.
So this is the bug assault gun. Okay, so a year ago, my son-in-law Josh, he says, "Hey, Mr. Derek, you got to get one of these." I said, "What the heck is this?" It said bug assault. I said, "Wait, bug assault? What are you talking about?" And then he started. I was at his house. He pump action. He's walking around the house. You know, you got to get close range. He tearing flies up.
Wait, you doing this it's inside? You can use.
Oh yes, in the house. Yes.
Oh, wow.
So it's a pump action gun. You see that little white? You see the little white cap at the top there?
Yeah.
You fill that up with table salt, right?
Okay.
And you fill it up to the top. You close the lid. And when you fill it up, you get 85 to 88 shots out of this thing, right?
How many bugs do you have in your house, man? 88 shots.
Look, let me tell you something. When stomach gets here, sometimes I leave the patio door open on purpose just so a fly will come in.
Oh, my God.
I ain't gonna lie to you. Now, my wife said, now when I got it, I had to get it. Now, I got it at Cabela's last summer. It was $45 at Cabela's. My wife said, I don't want salt all over the kitchen tables and floors. Yeah. It just lets out a fine spray. Shoo! With just enough to knock the you-know-what out of a fly.
How far do you get? How far?
I would say, you know how you try to sneak up on with a fly swatter?
Yeah.
As soon as you try to hit them, they take off?
Yeah.
Do the same thing with this gun, except you just moving in closely. Hit that trigger. All of a sudden you hear whoosh. And all of a sudden it's like magic. It disappears.
Wait, does it everything, like mosquitoes, you name it? It
mosquitoes, flies, any moth. Oh, man, tear a moth up. The only thing you have a problem with is any hard shell bug like a beetle. So the first time I hit it with a beetle looked at me and did this.
He did a Jay-Z. He did a Jay-Z.
Yeah. I hit the beetle again with it. And I'm like this close to the beetle, right? I'm trying to knock his shell off. That beetle ain't flinch.
Oh my goodness.
So hard shell bugs, you can't get. You know which one I really want to get though? I haven't been able to do it yet. Those stink bugs when they get in your house. Them things are the worst. Let a stink bug get in my house now. I dare a stink bug to
come. I want one of these things out on the deck, man, or like just firing as soon as I see something.
I just ordered one. In fact, look at this. Look at a 5-star FSG.
Yes,
the best weapon ever made.
Yes. Let me tell you something. And it also has, and just so you know, in case kids get it, one thing you have to remember, in case kids are around, it has a little button on the side. You can lock it so they can't shoot it. You know, so it slides back and forth. I'm gonna tell you something, man. It's like a toy Oh, this is my favorite toy. I took my fly swatters. I put them on top of the refrigerator. I don't even look at the fly swatters anymore. When I'm outside grilling, for whatever reason, when you're outside grilling, flies come from everywhere because they smell meat. Man, let me tell you something, man. I'm like a sniper in the U.S. Marines, Jack. I'm the I got flies dead everywhere, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. You think I'm kidding? Even Xander, our producer, Xander Krause said, "Hey, Gunner, I saw your tweet today. I ordered one right away."
And he got the premium salt. So he's taking it to you guys are all just trying to one up each other. It's unbelievable.
Oh,
Dude,
man, laser lights, all that stuff.
Barrett's got a laser light. Xander's got the premium salt.
You should have told me about that laser. I'm going dude, I got like whenever it's my birthday or Father's Day or even Christmas, people, my family, what do you want for Father's Day, Christmas, and birthday? I don't know. I don't want a lot. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I always tell them, just give me gift cards to Cabela's. I got like $300 worth of gift cards to Cabela's. I will be going there in the next few days to get that laser. Yeah, you should have told me about this laser.
Yeah, bro. Yeah,
maybe I need. So here's what I need. I need for tomorrow, maybe a little D-gun video. Yeah, I have somebody capture you just taking some bugs out.
Taking a flat? Oh, I got you. I got you.
All right.
I'm gonna leave the patio door open on purpose as soon as the show's over.
Why you open it up now? By the time you're done the show today, you'll have a lot to choose from. Man.
No, because I go downstairs, man. I got to catch it from my wife, man. Now she may use that gun on me.
Yeah, man. It's hot out today. It is hot out today, bro.
So like a dummy. One point, I got to see how powerful this thing is. So I put my hand in front of the gun. Never do that again. I just say, no, come on, it can't hurt that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
My hand was stinging for like 10 minutes. Man.
You don't want to mess with that stuff, man. That's for sure. That's cool. That is fun. But I'll tell you, the other thing that we were kicking around is a trip to the gas pump will just injure you, man.
Bruh.
It is out. Like I'm to the point now where every time I have to go somewhere, I'm debating, like, do I really have to? Like, how can I get around this? Like, it's craziness right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Dude, I posted on Saturday. I went to a Wawa close to me. I paid $5 a gallon. It was $77 for like 16 gallons, right? Ugh. So I put it on Twitter just to see. I would, just get reaction. Wait a minute, that's the one you ordered?
Yes.
That one looks nothing like mine, so I can't even get the laser for mine. That's the new one,
dude. That is like high tech, man.
That's like an assault weapon, man.
Yeah, that is serious. That's all business. That one.
I guarantee you, if they've elevated to that with a laser, I guarantee you a rapid fire one's going to come out before too long. So I'm going to wait and see if a rapid fire one comes out.
All right.
Oh yeah, but no, I went to the gas pump, so I spent $77, and I posted on Twitter. I posted on Twitter. I was robbed, and I put the picture up, right? And so people jump in right away. Some people paying close to $7 already. Then I saw this report come out that said by August, which is less than 2 months away, by August, the average price is expected to be $6 and above.
Yep. That's where we're headed.
$6 for a gallon of gas?
Yep.
Bro,
I'm like, what?
I talked to Captain Tony, man, and he went in, but he had like a quarter of a tank left in his boat.
Yeah.
And it's diesel. And he said right now at his place, at his shop, you know what I'm saying, the Schooner Island, I think he says like $7.83 a gallon.
What?
$7.83 a gallon for diesel.
No, heck no. Dude, when I was a kid, regular gas used to cost more than diesel.
Yeah, yep. I remember that.
By far, diesel was like dirt cheap back
was it really? Oh my God.
When I started driving when I was a teenager and stuff, diesel was dirt cheap compared to regular and unleaded. And then all of a sudden, diesel jumped way ahead of unleaded gas. I'm like, what in the world's going on now, man?
I know.
I need a third, fourth, and fifth job, man, to keep up with this, man.
Well, between gas and just a basic trip to the grocery store, you get killed. I mean, you get killed,
bro. The price of beef is
outrageous. Yeah.
Yes, unbelievable.
Dude, what I'm paying for baby back ribs now is a crime. I used to pay. I used to pay $19-20 for 2 slabs. Now it's like $33-34 for 2 slabs. I'm like, we're going to start killing our own food here. We're going to start getting muskrats, squirrels. We're going to start eating everything because man, these prices are ridiculous. What are we supposed to do? Your cost of living doesn't go up to equal the cost of what you pay. Gas, food, even stuff like when you get a handyman to come out of your house now. Electrician, plumber. Dude, the cost now
Well, they're always going to get you for the labor, but the parts now are jacked up too.
Well, you know what?
Oh my goodness.
And everything's backed up too. Good luck if you really need a part for something. It's going to take you a couple weeks.
I pay for that insurance, right? You know, every time I buy something, I put the insurance on it and the warranty and all that stuff. Wow. Right now, there's a guy downstairs in my kitchen right now. I took my, when you self clean your oven, never self clean your oven.
I do it all the time.
Self cleaning. If you do that, man, I keep on blowing fuses, thermal fuses.
What?
Yes, my first one I blew a thermal fuse on it. Now my second one I just bought. Now I've had, this one I've had since I redid my kitchen.
Right.
And first time I do that, it blows the thermal fuse. Oh. So he's down there fixing it right now. But I got the warranty, so I'm covered. But still, though, it's $100 just to for
service call.
For service call, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have to pay for any of the work done, but I have to pay the $100 for the service call.
Right.
I've never had a problem doing the self-cleaning mode.
Yeah.
Never had a problem. Never blew a fuse. No, nothing like that. Wow, man. Well, see, but you got those high-tech appliances. I got the Kmart appliances.
No, that's what I got too. I got mine from American whatever. The American whatever it's called. And it wasn't that expensive either, man. It wasn't that expensive.
No,
at all.
That's a good move. That's a good way to go. Yeah, no doubt.
You don't want to go to the expensive one. You don't want to go to Maytag or anything.
No, heck no, man. And they got these things, there's name brands like Z-Line and all this stuff. Like we have a gas stove in our island in the kitchen. I'm not going to tell you what we paid for this thing. And I told my wife, I said, "Are you sure you want to do this?" I'm like, really? You want to spend this money on this? So we have a gas stovetop in the island. We have an electric stove on the other side of the kitchen, and then I have a double oven.
Jeez, man.
A double oven in the garage next to a second fridge. Like years ago, my son broke one of the handles off the freezer, so we had to get it replaced eventually. So a couple years ago, we got another fridge for the kitchen. We said we're gonna keep this one and put it in the garage. So I got 2 refrigerators, and
this is chef talk here. That's what
this is serious.
Man.
That's a lot of ovens, man.
I tell you what though, because my wife cooks and bakes so much, it's so much better to like when you have an oven, have it out in your garage, because it does, especially in the summer, the house doesn't get overheated. Yeah,
100%.
So have it out in the garage. So we
smart.
We use that thing, and that's the one I use to self clean all the time. Just set timer, boom, hit button, close it, and never had a problem with it. Although we did have a buddy come in and put a heavy duty electrical line in, to the breaker box.
Good way to
go.
So
it wouldn't trip the switches and stuff like that.
220 service,
something like that. Yeah,
Barrett knows all of it, man. It's amazing.
Of course he does. Because you know why? You know why, Rob? Because he has all the finer things in life, but he won't donate to the D-Gun Move to California Foundation. All that for $5.
Keep begging, Gunner. It ain't happening, brother. It ain't happening. Look, I can tell you that.
All you people in the chat. This is my public service announcement.
Here we go.
My wife is from Southern California, and I promised her many years ago that one day we would move back. She reminds me daily and weekly that I've lied to her for the last 3 decades plus. So I'm just asking everybody out there, if you could donate $5 to the Help D-Gun Move Back to Southern California Foundation for a needy family, and to help me live a longer, healthier, happier life, I would be so indebted to you forever. Just call this 1-800 number right now, and just remember, you're helping D-Gun. Thank you.
I'm embarrassed for you. I am, honestly. I'm embarrassed for you. But
did I emotionally touch any of you? Anybody? Rob?
Yeah. I'm not touched. Barrett, are you touched by that?
No, not really.
No, there's no touching.
No.
All right, let's segue into our headlines here, guys. Interesting weekend. Phillies take 2 out of 3 from the Diamondbacks. Yesterday, the streak ended with a thud. That was not pretty. 13-1. And the thing is, we saw a lot of the old bad habits crept back in. It was only one game, so you don't get nuts. But it was I don't know. Would you guys rather have a streak end on a heartbreaker like a walk-off where you lose 5-4?
No.
Or getting your rear end handed to you like they did yesterday?
just get your rear end handed to you and get it out of your system.
I'm
because they got a heavyweight. People don't understand. They got a heavyweight series coming up starting tonight.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that.
Miami can pitch, which we'll get it. Yeah, we will get into. You know what? I'm going to apply the Jalen Hurts theory the Jalen Hurts theory, and you guys remember this from the regular season. I'm just going to flush it. I'm not even going to look at it.
There you go. There you go. What do you call it? What do you call it? The deuce?
Yeah. He is so fun. You know, he cracks me up. Like, and he's dead serious when he says this stuff.
Right.
You guys remember I forget which game it was. He's like, yeah, man. That's one where you don't even look at it. You just flush the deuce or whatever. I'm like,
wasn't it San Fran? I think it was San Fran.
I forget it was bad, but he's unbelievable. That's how I'm applying to yesterday. That's going to be a straight flush and just get out of there, man. That's all that was, but that was not pretty for sure. So we have that. We have game 5 of the NBA Finals tonight. Golden State and Boston. Golden State. Steph Curry went crazy on Friday.
Oh my goodness.
You know what, man? And I really don't care. I have no rooting interest for Golden State whatsoever. But
I do.
Well, because they're playing Boston. Yes,
absolutely.
I agree with you there. I'm saying generally I don't.
Yeah.
But watching him play, like I'm going to be really sad when he's done because I love watching that dude play basketball, man.
You know, the funny thing is when I watch Seth Curry, he's this little wispy guy, right? And I'm watching, dude, for somebody as small as he is, everything about him is a flick of the wrist.
Yeah.
Whether it's top of the key from the wing. And what I love most about him is he takes off and runs down the court before the ball even hits the bottom of the well. That's how confident he is.
Yep.
But you talk about fearless. He reminds me of a better shooting version of an Allen Iverson. He is fearless. He takes a pounding. He keeps getting up. He keeps taking. We thought what was it, the ankle or knee? We thought that was going to keep him out of a game. Oh no.
Yeah. And
I think tonight is the first time Golden State takes the lead in this series.
I tend to agree with you. You don't count Boston out. They're a tough team to count out.
No question.
But I'm feeling you back at Golden State. Like that's, I think, where this thing is headed. Barrett's been pretty much on this series the whole time. I got to give
except this last game. They you know, they beat him up pretty good. Well, no, they didn't really beat him up pretty good because the last 5 minutes they just took over.
They just took over.
So there's two things, right? Two things stand out. Tatum's got to be better in the fourth quarter if Boston isn't. He disappeared.
He hasn't been here for this whole. I mean, this entire series he hasn't showed up.
He's got to be better. Period. Right? If they want any chance to win. But the other thing is, can Golden State continue? And look, Curry went crazy, so that sort of like offsets this. But can you keep overcoming Draymond giving you absolutely nothing? I mean, I know he's not an offensive guy, but he's gotten to he's at the Ben Simmons level now, where it's nothing at all.
Right.
I found it interesting that Steve Kerr benched him.
Yeah, he was doing offense, defense.
Yep. He should have benched him longer than he did because basically he's a liability instead of an asset.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
Terrible.
And you know, he's hesitant to even pull the trigger on a 4-footer, let alone anything else.
My goodness.
But
and we'll talk more about this in the show, but there's one aspect, both teams, that I've noticed in the last 3 games in particular, and it reminds me a lot of Ben Simmons in one aspect, and I'll save it for later in the show when we get into it. But I'm thinking, and when I tell you guys this, I want you to watch for this closely tonight, because this has been mind-boggling. I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah.
On both, not just one team, but both teams. So I'll save it for later in the show.
All right. So the other thing I found interesting, and I don't know if you guys saw this, Devin Allen is the free agent receiver that the Eagles signed. He hasn't played in 6 years. He hasn't played football in 6 years. He played for Oregon. He's also a track star. He over the weekend, this was pretty amazing. I don't know if you got a chance to see it. If you haven't, go back and watch the video because it's straight up amazing. What he was able to do. But he's running the hurdles, okay, and it's the 110 meter hurdles. He ran a 12.84, which is the third fastest time ever in the meters. I mean, it was insane. He's in the middle, and it looks like a couple dudes on the end are going to take it, and then all of a sudden, man, he is just straight fire, and he wins the thing, and he thinks he can get to the best time ever. Like that's what his mindset is right now.
That's D Gun speed right there.
It is D Gun. It's D Gun headed to the grill speed.
Right.
Or the fridge.
Or to get your
bug assault.
Yeah, bug assault weapon.
I'm telling you, Rob, game changer, baby. Game changer.
I hear you, but no, it's pretty cool to watch. I have no idea this guy's gonna be able to make the team or not, whatever. But he actually will be a guy who'll be fun to watch in preseason games.
Well, you know what? I actually my nephew, AJ Brooks ran. He took second in state this weekend.
Nice.
in the 110 hurdles.
Nice.
Now they're a little shorter than they're a little bit shorter than you know,
they're not as high
hurdles.
up as college. Yeah.
But I mean, at this point, he ran a like a 13, 12 or 12 something. I mean, I forget, man. But
That's awesome.
He took second in the state, so I'm real proud of him for that, man. Very
Dude, that's
proud
great,
of him,
man. Congratulations.
Awesome, dude.
He's going to go to Monmouth. College.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good school.
Okay.
Yep. So I was pretty proud of him about that.
That's
Yeah,
awesome,
Rob, the guy you're talking about now for the Eagles, I'm thinking, I hope he's not another Ronaldo Nehemiah. Remember him?
He played for the 49ers.
World class.
He couldn't play, man.
He couldn't catch a 747, man.
No.
I'm telling you, it was bad.
You know,
he can run like the wind, though.
Derek, we've seen guys like way back in the day, Bob Hayes, who played for the
yeah.
Cowboys. But even a guy like Willie Galt turned out to be a pretty decent receiver.
Did.
He wasn't great, but he was
John
good.
Jett.
John Jett. Like
John
these guys
Jett.
were effective. They weren't great, but they
so
were
was
good.
Bob Hayes. Bob Hayes had a long career. Yeah.
No doubt. So look, he's a long shot. We know the depth chart. There's a lot of receivers here, but you can run like that, man. I don't know. So if the quarterback lob it up there, you're gonna catch it.
We had
maybe.
Yeah.
I played for the Steelers. He's actually what was Nate Washington. He played at Tippin University or something like that. Tippin. Well, he's the same way, world class speed,
right?
But didn't know what the hell he was doing. Turned out to be really good receivers for us. As time progressed, and then went and signed a huge deal, a coach contract with the Titans. Okay. But Nate Washington didn't know the offense to save his life. So coach told everybody one day, hey, if you don't know what you're doing, hey, just get out there and run full speed. That's what Cal said. Just run full speed. Bro, we in it'll be a run play. He's still running full speed out there running routes. And it just so happened he started doing this in team, and it'd be a pass play. And it's supposed to be a slant, but he'd take off doing a 9 route straight down the field. Next thing you know, he's got Troy Polamalu and all Clark running after him. He's taking off, and Bender starts throwing it up to him. He became a threat. That's how he made the squad. He's supposed to have a slant, but he just run a 9 route.
Smart, though. I got to give him that. He knew. I'm not making the team going over the middle, man.
So he just take a 9 route. It didn't matter what the call was. He's going 9 route.
The one good thing about Devin Allen is he did play football. I mean, he played
at a high level.
It's not like he didn't. He played for Oregon. He wasn't some, dude who never. He played all throughout high school, grade school. But he just concentrated on track. But it's been 6 years, man. I just don't know. That's a long layoff at any professional sport to be able to.
Yeah, man. Yeah, if he's that fast and he played the game, see, that's a red flag to me. Why is there 6 years since he played football? The NFL doesn't miss anything in terms of trying to find undiscovered talent. So what's the deal with this guy?
He says that he just wanted to concentrate on track, but
okay. You ain't making no money in track, bro. If you got a chance to make money in the NFL, you're not making that kind of money.
What's up, Mrs. Brooks? Yeah, no, I
Mama
hear
Brooks
you,
in the house.
Afternoon, Mom.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what how that ends up playing out.
So here's what my nephew AJ ran. He ran it was a 14:32, and the guy that won it ran a 13:85.
Damn. Whoa.
Yeah,
that's serious. If you have, my daughter runs hurdles too, and it's fun to watch those the guys and the gals because your timing has to be precise. You land up. It's like you have to be machine-like.
It's more technique than anything, man.
100% it's technique. And you really want, especially at the high school level, once they get to like that last group of hurdles, they're tired, man. And that's typically where you see men and women, guys and girls catch one of those things, and can either get hurt or cost them the race. But that's what you got to watch. But that's amazing time though, man. Third fastest ever in the history of the world. Whenever you can say something like that, that's pretty cool.
That's why he said, you heard what he said, right? So we interviewed him. He's like, I know you're fast and everything. Though, how many guys on the team, have said, all right, we're going to race you? So he said, well, big play Slay. We know he's fast. He ran a 4.3 when he came out of college. He's a little older now, but he said, I had to tell him, I do this for a living now. I get paid to do this. So if anybody thinks they're faster than I am, put your 10 grand up and we can race.
Whoa. Yeah, he doesn't
told all of them that.
This dude does not lack for confidence. I will say that.
Not at all.
You know, at every turn, and he'll also tell you, like, I'm a football player too. Don't doubt it. I'm like, okay, let's see.
Right.
Find out.
You know, tell you 10 grand, put your money where your mouth is. I don't race for free. 10 grand, put it. Let's go 10 stacks right now.
Wow. Be interesting. Just so a name to keep your ear and eye on, Devin Allen, the sprinter. All right, let's get a timeout here, guys. We'll come back. We'll dive a little bit deeper into the Phillies coming up at 1 o'clock. So I have a question for you guys at 1 o'clock, and regarding the Eagles. And if you put Jalen Hurts on the shelf for 1 second, just put him aside, what would be your biggest concerns for the Eagles this year? So we'll get into that as well. A lot of other stuff we have in store for you a little bit later also. So don't go anywhere. He's Barrett Brooks. He's Derek Gunn. I am Rob Ellis. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network on this Monday. All right, I'm a little hungry. Lunchtime. I am feeling little hunger pangs right there. I got the place for you, man. Station Tap Catering in Drexel Hill can handle your next business function with ease while you focus on securing a new opportunity for your company. I was at an event this weekend which they catered, and I can tell you this straight up. The food was off the charts good. All right. I dipped into everything. I dipped into a little bit of the pasta, a little bit of the sausage and peppers. They had the wings. They had the chicken tenders for the kids. They had the fries, the salad, you name it. They have it across the board. And they also have an incredible catering hall for you in Drexel Hill. They got 50 years of experience in food prep. Station Tap Catering will impress, and your guests, trust me when I tell you this, will be impressed. Station Tap Catering provides delicious foods for private events, corporate functions, individual packaged meals for your next tailgate. Got a lot of Phillies games coming up. Eagles right around the corner. Just give them a call, 484-469-3222. That's 484-469-3222. Or go to stationtapcatering.com. That's stationtapcatering.com.
Go for the pulls and the pools. Go for the oohs and the ahs. Go for the bubbles and the bubbly. Go for the story and the stories. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
At Action News, we cherish every moment, and it's our profound responsibility to bring you closer to your world. Never miss a moment. Trust the people at Action News.
All right, did you know I was the Mommy Slam Dunk Champion?
Really?
Yes, really, don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, I go to left, fake a mom. Mama, go up, mama!
She did it.
Again? You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Uh-huh. Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
right, welcome back in, everybody.
I just took me like a 90-second nap, man. That felt pretty good, man. You ever do that sometimes? You know, you fall asleep and you know, you sleep maybe and you wake up and you don't know where you are, and you like you missing something, you late for something.
Yes.
Man, yeah, Barrett, you muted, man.
I used to do it on quick slants all the time.
Yes, I know. I didn't want to bring that up.
Yeah. I take a
was it your co-host made you tired, or it made you a little drowsy?
Right, little 15-minute nap while we on quick.
Hey, Rob, Barrett would be sitting in his chair like Jabba the Hutt, like this. I'd be sitting there going, I'm over here doing research. This man over here borderline snoring. Like, are you kidding me?
So I used to when we did Breakfast on Broad, I was also doing radio right afterwards. So I would go from one to the other, right? And I was cutting it tight. We would finish Breakfast on Broad at 9. We'd have to tape some stuff afterwards too, and then I had to be on the air for radio at 10 o'clock. So I had to go from South Philly to Bala Cynwyd for people who might know the Philadelphia area. It's you're at the mercy of 76, which is one of the worst roads ever.
Oh.
A lot of times I'd literally be pulling up at like 9:57 and doing a sprint out of my car to the studio, put the headset on and go. But if I had 10 or 15 minutes extra, if I made good time, I'd put the car in park, I'd shut it off, I'd recline the seat in the parking lot of the radio station, and I'd sleep for 10 minutes. My parking lot naps. And Barrett became an aficionado of the parking lot nap
without a doubt.
As well. And it can either... You know, it's funny. It cuts both ways. You either feel really refreshed after you get a little something in because you just got to shut your eyes for a minute, or you kind of force yourself to wake up and you feel like garbage, man. It can kind of cut both ways. The short nap.
Did you ever oversleep?
I never overslept for Breakfast on Broad. I had 3 alarms set.
Okay.
I never overslept and missed time when I did my parking lot naps either. I never did that, but I had that recurring. I used to have a recurring nightmare that I overslept all the time.
Yes.
All the time.
Yes.
And I would wake up even like 20 minutes before my alarm would go off, and I'd be like, it was like mind games, man.
It's the worst. Yeah, it's the worst.
Yeah, it's the worst. It is.
You know what the worst nightmares are though? When you have those ones where you're trying to get somewhere and nobody can tell you how to get there, or you keep going through these doors and it's not taking you where you want to go. Sometimes I wake up like panicking, man.
Yep.
It's weird.
I have them with TV and radio. Like I know I'm on the air at 12. Okay. And I know it's 11:55 and like I'm telling like, I got to go. And they're like, and nobody cares. And I can't get there. And I'm like, oh, you don't understand. And like, we understand. We don't care. And I'm trying to get there and all this other stuff. And then you wake up and you're like, can't I just dream about rainbows and freaking unicorns? I have to sit here and be tortured in my sleep too.
I don't know, man. I don't have. I mean, the worst nightmares I have is just waking up and at 12 noon, and from 12 to 3 o'clock, I wake up and Derek, Robert here.
Yep.
It's real.
I do all the time, man.
What?
All the time.
What?
It is my nightmare. Derek and Robert here.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wake up.
No, your nightmare is like, I'm really doing a show with these guys. I'm not dreaming. This is the reality.
Look, Barrett, look, you don't want to admit it, but I am your ray of sunshine. Just remember that.
Oh my God.
Oh, you guys are nonstop comedy, man. I love it, man. This is when my day gets started with you two, man. But I mean, seriously, I only have that problem, man, during the football season, and when I do my college football games, and sometimes I'll have a night game.
Oh yeah.
If I have a night college football game and we have a 1 o'clock game, it's the worst feeling in the world. After I get through calling the game, have a great game, and as soon as I log off air and we say goodbye, I then start panicking. I'm like, damn, I got to get back to Philly.
Like, what do you typically? I know it depends on what city you're in state and all that, but are you generally trying to catch a late flight that night, or you do the early morning
try to.
red-eye?
That's what I try to. I try to have at least 2 means of me getting out. I've got 2 means of me getting out. One with ESPN and the other with my own coin, just in case.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And if I don't get it, I can just get my money back. But I always have 2 ways that I can get home without, you know what I'm saying? Because I never want to be. I remember one. It was one game.
Yeah.
that I got back, and I got back 5 minutes before we went on air.
Oh, man.
And I walked in, I wanted to go straight there, and our old boss is like, no, we're just going to take you out this segment. I'm like, no, don't take me out this segment. I'm here. It's 5 minutes before. No, she just did it to make a point.
Mm-hmm.
To make a point. You know, it's not like I couldn't have went on there.
No, I hear you. That's the worst, though, because and I think everybody's experienced this, like just trying to get to your job or something else. You know, you're trying not to be a maniac driving, right? But you're at the mercy of red lights and traffic, and you're just panicking internally, man. It's not a good feeling, man. Yes, it is not a good feeling.
I did an Alabama game, and I had to get back for a 1 o'clock game, so I had to drive to the Golden Triangle. That's an hour and a half. It's an airport down there.
Oh, okay.
Alabama.
Okay.
So I drove there. When I got there, I couldn't get on the flight. It already left.
Oh no!
So I then turned back around.
Oh.
I drove all the way to Atlanta, which is like 4.5 hours.
Oh my goodness!
All the way to Atlanta. Got on a 6:30 flight. Got there at 8:30. I got there at 6:30. Got there at 10:30, and I was there at 11 o'clock for the pregame. We talk about we were going to talk about the meeting, and I was good, but I didn't sleep at all.
Oh,
I didn't sleep at all. I was up for like 32 hours.
Wow, man. Yeah, that's rough. That's
my goodness.
Yeah, no question about it.
But you got to do it.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do, man. There's no doubt about that. All right, so Phillies. Look, here's we touched on it in the first segment. Just to circle back. I'm not gonna panic over one game. It's one game of a baseball season. It was not pretty yesterday, but I look at it and I say, you won the series, man. You know, that's all you're looking to do is win series and just sort of chip away here, chip away. Here's the problem, though, guys. Atlanta's won 11 straight.
They won't lose.
Atlanta's on fire right now, and look, it's not like the Mets have, just fallen into disarray either. So as well as the Phillies have played, they haven't really made up a ton of ground here in the NL East. Now
they made up 4 games.
No, they did, and they put themselves in a much better position for the wild card too.
Right.
Which is kind of where I'm focused anyway. Yesterday was ugly. Yesterday was a prime example of what they were versus what they've been lately. Like you saw, real bad defense, awful pitching across the board. You realize, guys, they had 11 walks and 4 strikeouts. Their strikeout to walk ratio was 11 walks to 4 strikeouts.
Wow.
I know.
Terrible.
Yeah.
First inning, Bohm has a misplay where he kind of double clutches. He could have tugged the guy. He tries to throw to second to get the force. Nothing. Then the play with Real Muto, which I think flipped the whole game. Ranger Suarez throws to him. Real Muto can't catch it. He basically boots it, which allows 2 runs, and that changed everything. Not only that, they were awful with runners at scoring. I mean, it was just bad.
But here's how spoiled we've been since they've been on this run. They were down 3-1. They had the bases loaded with 1 out in the 5th inning. I'm thinking, here we go. Arizona's about to get rocked, and they got no runs out of that. And I was like, huh? And then I look up later, it's 5-1, it's 8-1. I'm like, and it's still at 8-1. I'm thinking Philly's gonna make a game of this. They're gonna make a game of this.
And we've become spoiled with that, haven't we?
Yes, over the last 2 weeks,
with that.
We've been spoiled. But then when it was 13-1, that's when I said, "Oh no, it's over. It's our game over."
Yeah, but Gunnar, here's the good thing: like if you're thinking that way, they're thinking that way too.
Yeah,
Unless they're really buried, like 13-1, that is over. But like I agree with you. Even at I think it got to like 5-1, or I'm thinking, still a shot here. Still a chance.
Right.
But yeah, they played great. I mean, Harper continues to just crush. I'll tell you, the guy they have to get going is Nick Castellanos. He's the guy that they have to get going.
What is he batting, like 135 or something like that? 137?
He's a mess, Barrett, lately. He really is. He's a mess lately. He's striking out a ton. He struck out 3 times yesterday. Mostly everybody else. I mean, Schwarber has really stepped up. Hoskins has really stepped up. Right. Like we said, Harper's been the steadying force, but a lot of others have really picked it up. Gregorius has played well for him. He's the one guy who still can't find. He said he hasn't been comfortable all year, but it'll come, according to him.
Right.
And how many teams have leadoff hitters like Schwarber who hits for the power that he hits with? Not many teams that have that, man.
And he's walking a lot too, Derek. So he's getting on base. His average isn't great, but he's getting on base and he's hitting a lot of home runs. It's kind of what we thought the lineup was going to be, really, before the season started. And everything's sort of excluding yesterday, but they've gotten great starting pitching.
Is Nola up today?
Aaron Nola.
Yes.
I tell you what, against Sandy Alcantara, who's 6-2
legit
with a 1.61 ERA and I'm telling you something. Do not overlook Miami. Miami's already beat this team 3 out of 4 this year. And if you look at them historically, Miami gives this team fits for whatever reason. Now, what's even more impressive, Miami's just coming off a road trip in Houston. They took 2 out of 3 from Houston, who has the second best record in the American League.
Yeah.
Okay. And they could have swept that series.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I can't wait to see this one tonight. Nola against Alcantara. I cannot.
Well, Alcantara, Derek, to your point, 6-2 with a 1.61 ERA and a 0.94 WHIP. This dude is legit. Okay.
I'm telling
so
you.
they're not, it's not like they're skipping out on these really good, even Trevor Rogers, who pitches tomorrow, is good. He's not had a great year so far, but he's good. He's a tough lefty. So they get, their money's worth here, these first couple, and then they get Pablo Lopez on Wednesday.
Ooh.
He's 4-2 with a 2.30 ERA and a 1.02 WHIP.
Yeah.
So the bats are going to be challenged in this series because these dudes. But here's the good thing. Even if you go back to the Brewers series and this Diamondback series, they beat some pretty good pitching. Corbin Burns is a really good pitcher.
Yeah, they
Zach
knocked him out
Allen's
early.
a really good pitcher. Yeah, who they've been. These guys are getting pitch counts up early because they're seeing a lot of pitches and they're getting a lot of hits. So that's been the formula that's worked for them early in these games.
Well, ever since Ricky Bo said what he said about that team, man, back in the day when they made their shirts, they have been whooping our tail for the past 3 years since that.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Whipping our tail, man.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things in sports. I remember when back in the day, Barry, you probably remember this as growing up in St. Louis. The Cardinals used to be in the Eagles division.
Yep.
In the NFC East.
Yep.
And even when St. Louis was not good, and it was a lot that they weren't good, they always seemed to give the Eagles a hard time. They'd either split with them or beat them twice. There were some crazy guys. Remember the Marte Jenkins game from 2001 or whatever? There's always weird games with the Cardinals, and it feels like the Marlins are that team for the Phillies. No matter what, they always give them a hard time.
Even Fitz when they moved to Phoenix,
yes,
Fitzgerald, playoff game.
Mm-hmm.
He took Malcolm Jenkins apart, man.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
So.
That game, that's a shame. That was sort of like you didn't expect them to be there in that year, the 2008 year.
Yep.
And they had every chance to win that NFC Championship game, man.
So Rob, let's say the Phillies lose this Marlins series, and I'm not saying they will because they could very easily win this one also. And I don't mean getting swept. Let's say the Marlins take 2 out of 3. Okay. Will the Rob Ellis of 3 weeks ago resurface? Will angry Rob Ellis return?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
See?
Yeah, probably.
See?
I'm not going to look. I'm going to give them somewhat of a benefit of the doubt, but a team that has a worse record than you got to win that series. You put yourself in a spot, Derek, where you got to start winning every series here.
But that Marlins team is only 4 games under 500. They had a 5-game winning. They were the second hottest team in the National League until they lost yesterday.
I know.
So they're coming up too now. So I mean, the Phillies are at 500. The Marlins are right behind them. Right. The Marlins can match them pitching for pitching. I don't think the Marlins have the hitting power the Phillies do.
Yeah, they don't have the bats.
They can spray you to death. The Marlins will single you to death.
Yeah, well, see, that's what it is, man. The biggest thing about this Marlins series, they have to win this series because no matter what, that team down in Atlanta is banging it. I think they've won 11 straight. So
they're playing great.
They've got to stay ahead of the game, man, just to keep in front of both of those teams, the Marlins and the Braves.
Yes, that and it could do. There's a couple things when you play. Iron sharpens iron. So when you're battling with these guys, there aren't a whole lot of games to give away the rest of the way because neither team's going anywhere. They're just going to get better and better. Right. So, but even if you look at the wild card right now and where things are, so you're dealing with some really good teams there too. The Padres are the first wild card right now. Then it's the Giants. We saw what happened when the Phillies played the Giants not all that long ago. Then it's Atlanta. Then it's the Brewers. Then it's the Phillies. So you have, all those teams are vying for that third wild card spot right now. You're still 3.5 back there. So you can't, there's no let up here. When you play as poorly as they played to start the year, man, you got to deliver.
Yeah.
This
at
is
least
makeup
now
time.
they have a shot. But at least now they know the winning direction, and they just got to keep banging the way they've been banging, man. I mean, the way they've been hitting. Besides this last game, I mean, they'll be in every game. They'll be in every series now. I'm confident now that they'll be in every series.
Yeah,
So,
I don't see them. I don't see them going anywhere. Like I don't think I think the formula. If you get good starting pitching and you have the kind of offense, here's the $1 million question for this team, guys. Are you going to be able to overcome a shaky bullpen and a bad defense? Are you going to get, because what they've done here is they've gotten really good offense and good enough starting pitching where it hasn't come into play as much. That's the $1 million question, or at least until you get towards the trade deadline and you either add an arm or you add
what if they don't add anything? What if they don't add anything?
Well, you
have to think like that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think without question, Derek, they're going to add a bullpen arm because, even Knable's banged up right now. So do you have enough? The good news is Thompson started to use Brogdon in some higher leverage situations. If he can come through along with Hand, along with Sir Anthony, okay, you might have something on the back end of this thing with this bullpen. You might have something. But yeah, they have to be better. And I don't know. Like, I don't expect them to all of a sudden turn into a great fielding team, but you can't make boneheaded plays like that was a tailor-made double play yesterday that Suarez Real Muto. And I blame Real Muto way more than I blame Suarez for that. It wasn't a great throw, but it was good enough. That kind of stuff can't happen because that changes games.
But every team makes those plays, though. I mean, you look at the previous series, both the Angels and the Brewers. Yeah, they were playing foul-ups, bleeps, and blunders. And if you're even looking at this Arizona team, Arizona was making bonehead plays. Even when they won 13-1, they were still foul-ups, bleeps, and blunders. It happens. Yep. You have to minimize it. I agree with you, but some things are just unavoidable. It just happens. Yeah,
no doubt.
You hope to minimize it, but especially at a crucial point of a game. But it's going to happen. Hey, did you see our producer? Xander Krause just
what did he do now? What
he just texted all three of us and said, "We are in the game, boys." And I'm like, "What's he talking about?" He says his bug assault gun is arriving Wednesday by 10 p.m.
Oh, I just said the same thing.
Yeah, he's got his is like super high tech. I'm looking at his compared to Gunner's.
Which one? Barrett or Xander?
I think Xander. Whoever sent the last text in the chain has like
that was Barrett.
That's mine. Yeah.
Barrett's is outrageous.
Barrett's is like an AK-47.
Yeah, but Barrett's is just off the charts. I don't even know where to start. I need video of that too. I gotta see what's going on.
See, Xander's is more like mine, except his it's a black. Mine is more yellow than black. His is like all black. It's intimidating. I'm going to have to get all black one just to intimidate flies. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just saying. Because now, these bugs come in your house, man. They don't care, man. It's like they own the place.
Bro. Oh, God. Well, especially this time of year, man.
I'm telling you, Rob, man, you have to get one, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I want to see one of you two on the beach with this thing. Getting the green flies.
I can't, oh, man.
Oh, my
That's
goodness.
what I want to see.
Oh, you know what? I need to, I'm going to order one for my boat.
For the boat, exactly.
When you're on a boat, because those things.
Mister, I don't have any money, but he's going to get two. See?
No, it's only $50, man.
You can donate that $50 to D Gun. That's my point.
Here we go.
See?
Here we go.
See what I mean?
To the left coast.
Yes. You can donate that to the D Gun Foundation, man.
God, man.
Why you gotta have two bug assault guns, man?
I need one, man, because
I think
those
one
greenheads
are
the worst.
Let me tell you something. Those greenheads gonna disappear once you put one of those guns on your boat. I'm gonna tell you something. You get lost, and the thing is, you get lost in time because you stand around walking around the house like you got in the wilderness hunting. You got the gun cocked. Like you hold
3 hours. 3 hours later,
dude. Hey, Rob, I ain't lying, man. So all of a sudden, I look up. Man, half hour just went by. I'm walking around the house following flies, man, sneaking up on them like I'm doing one of those animal. Okay, you got to keep quiet because they can smell you a mile away.
Yeah,
you got to be quiet. You got to ease up on them. And you ease up on them.
Steve Irwin over here.
Ease up on them. I feel like Alonzo in training days when I fire that gun. Pop, pop. I'm like, yeah, come back in here.
Silly question. Doesn't it get like your house soaked by when you're firing that thing?
No, it's a light mist Now, every now and then you see a little salt here and there, but I saw somebody in our chat comment say, it drives my girlfriend nuts. She finds salt all over the house. I'm like, no, I'm not that bad. I know, I'm not that bad.
This is like a whole world you guys are involved in.
Right,
I didn't even know about.
See, Rob,
suck me in, bro.
If you came out of your basement with the hidden cubby hole behind the 2000 banner, yeah, see, you would understand there's a much bigger world out there of things that you can entertain yourself. Look at that. That thing is dark.
It is.
There's
bodies in there. There's bodies. Forget flies, man.
That shot right there is like something out of an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
All right, let me show you. And while we're at it, let me show you guys something. I'm going to take my earbuds out for 1 second, but I'm going to show you something. So, give you a better idea what goes on here. All right. So, can you guys see that? Okay. So every 2 weeks, I go in there and I clear a path. Okay. Every 2 weeks, there's a suitcase jammed in there. There's our little niece's shopping cart where she has her little toys.
They just put it right there in front of it.
They put it right there. It's almost taunting me, Barrett. They taunt me with it. Okay. And they know, like, if you want to push my buttons, do that. Do that to the right. Okay.
Hey, Randall the Handle said, did I hear someone scream in a cubby hole?
Yeah, Randall, you know who it was? It was me. It was me screaming when I see this. Okay.
Dude,
so you can't get back. You can't. You just see it right there, and that just makes your ADHD just go.
Yeah. And there's a giant stuffed animal. I don't even know where that came from. Right there. Dude, it looks like a dead body.
You should see under the stairs of my basement. There's like 10 pieces of luggage that nobody claims.
Yeah, exactly.
There's like 5 or 6 boogie boards under there. There's 2 or 3 mattresses, like full-size mattresses that we take out, like when we have a bunch of guests coming, so the kids can sleep on mattresses. And it's like you can't even walk under there, dude. It's so bad. I go down in the basement, I cry. I actually have tears well up in my eyes.
Yeah, me too.
Because my basement looked like Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs had a gang fight in my basement.
And they do the same thing to my shed. I don't have a big shed. I got enough room to get in there and get my lawnmower and my weed whacker and all my other stuff.
Yeah.
And I say, don't put anything right there in front of my lawnmower. I need to get my lawnmower out. And there's always a bike jammed in there. There's something. I'm like, what are we doing here? I mean, it's unbelievable, man.
My worst is my wife's pantry in the kitchen. She likes to put little labels for everything, like nuts go here, and bread goes here. And she has these cute little signs made up for them and stuff. And when she was out in California last week, prior to that, it looked like somebody came in and robbed the house, brother, because we got bread hanging this way like this.
Oh yeah.
And so my wife sends a text. She always does when she's on vacation. I need you to do this before I get home, and I need you to do that before I get home. So I let my daughter Tina go in and clean the pantry, man. And she did a great job. As my wife comes home, the first thing she says is, "Can we keep it this way?"
Yes.
I said I can't tell you yes. To be honest, I can't tell you that it's gonna stay that way. We'll try, but I can't tell you. Everything has a spot. Everything has a place. Yeah, in my world, that place is wherever you dump it.
Yeah,
right. It's not like I'm not okay. Where do the nuts go? Okay, over here.
I'm with you.
I can't be doing that. See, I hope my wife's listening. See, you understand my pain, right?
Well, you're not getting me in that. You're not getting me in that.
Yeah.
What? What up, man?
Tell me, I go there and you want to set me up. Look what Barrett did. He messed up your pantry.
you know it's coming too. I swear it's coming. Look,
the comment section's on fire today, by the way.
Oh,
you guys are killing it.
I can't. I'm trying to be honest, man. I'm not that meticulous. I'm not that neat. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I just need to be able to get in and out. I don't care what you do. Put it wherever you want. I need a trail. I need a little something path to get in there. That's what I need.
So my oldest son, and my daughter, they're building what they call a pole barn on the back of their property. And the pole barn is going to be up. It's going to be up before my grandkids' 1-year-old birthday party is coming up July 2nd. They said the pole barn is going to be up before that because all they keep telling me
is, bro.
You ain't gonna show up. That's another story.
Yes, I am gonna show up. I got the invite.
What's a pole barn? What is
it's a huge barn where you can store stuff like all the stuff like old stuff you don't want furniture. You can put a car in there. It has areas you can drive cars in there and stuff.
Okay.
It's like one of these big barns that country people have, man. And so they keep telling me, and we'll get our stuff because one corner of my basement has all their wedding stuff. Okay, and I'm like, I'm gonna help you move it because I'm gonna look. As soon as you tell me that barn's up, I'm loading up my car and I'm making sure you get that stuff out of here.
I hear
I'm
you.
serious.
I hear
it's got to go because I'm tired. I go down to my basement.
Hold on. He said the same thing, right? When his son moved out.
Yes.
He moved out and he was gone for like 8 months. And he walks in the room one time and he said there was a cup in there, a coffee cup in there.
I'm telling you.
And the cup there was so long. He said it had little
it had a green island floating on it.
Oh man.
It was a coffee mug. You think I'm kidding?
No, I believe it.
I picked up the cup. I went. I'm not a squeamish person.
No, but that skeeves me, man. That kind of stuff skeeves me.
Oh my goodness.
I picked the cup, dude. I picked the cup up and it's like this.
By the way, if that's the case, I'm done with no. Like some people might try and clean that. No, thank you. That bad boy is getting thrown out. Okay.
No, dude. I poured the island down the drain in the sink in the kitchen. Of course, ground it up. You can hear it grind.
Oh God!
So look, he comes to work. We're going through the show. He goes to work, and he thinks about it. So he tells me the story. Next thing you know, he's on the phone. Boy, come over here and get this thing. He's not. You left this thing. I'm like,
awesome.
what are you?
And then the bottom of the cup is black with coffee residue in it, right? And you got to take like a little chisel and chisel it out.
No, you don't. You throw that thing out. There's no chiseling. Okay, I'm done. That's checkout time.
It could be the finest china that's got to go on, Rob.
That's done.
No, wait, you throw the cup out instead of cleaning it, Rob?
With that stuff in it? Yes. Yes.
What?
No thanks. Stuff
Come
growing
on,
out of it? No, thank you. No,
Yes.
No, I'm done.
Dude, I can't throw it out.
By the way, I'm out of my solo cups, my plastic cups.
Oh.
I'm not happy about it either.
He went to the fine china.
I know. It's not good. I don't enjoy my drink as much.
Oh my goodness.
All right, let's get a timeout, fellas. We'll come back. We're 43 days away from Eagles training camp, and I have a question for you guys. If you put Jalen Hurts aside, what's the biggest concern for you about this Philadelphia Eagles team? We'll do that when we get back. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. All right, finances, man, finances. We were talking about how much gas is, what's going on with food. It's tough. You got to be careful. You got to be smart how you're saving and putting money away. And for years, I would try a bunch of different people, and I finally found the right person, and that's Jim Murray of Principal Finance, the financial group. They are the best. He is the best. Trust me when I tell you that from personal experience. And whether it's retirement planning, 401k review, IRA, insurance, whatever, if you have your own company, you're trying to put together some employee benefits, you're not sure how to go about that, Jim can help you. I have entrusted my IRA, my 401k rollover with Jim, and I couldn't be any happier. He's also great at answering all of my ridiculous questions that I ask him on a daily basis. And he's always there. He's helpful, and he's able to give me the answers that I'm looking for, in less technical terms. And it really helps me understand, what I'm investing in. I've entrusted my IRA, my 401k with Jim, and I couldn't be happier. And you will be too. Just give him a call. 610-996-4751. That's 610-996-4751, or simply email him, Murray, MURRAY.Jim@principal.com.
Go for the pulls and the pools. Go for the oohs and the ahs. Go for the bubbles and the bubbly. Go for the story and the stories. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
On the field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
Action News, we cherish every moment, and it's our profound responsibility to bring you closer to your world. Never miss a moment. Trust the people at Action News.
All right, did you know I was the mommy slam dunk champion?
Really?
Yes, really don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, I go to left, got fake 'em out. Mama go up, up.
She did it.
Again? You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
All right, I hate to eat with talk with my mouth full, but I just pounded down a banana. I'm trying to get it done at this point. Just keeping it real, man.
Don't worry, I'm going to get some Doritos in a minute.
Yeah, the struggle's real, man. So I'm finishing off my banana as we speak. All right, welcome back, everybody. Rob Ellis, Derek Dunn, Barrett Brooks. I thought I could get it done, but I'm done. It's fine. All good. No,
All of a sudden you hear,
right. Go ahead, Barrett. You're muted, bud.
So I go downstairs and I get a note on my stove.
Uh-oh.
I had to order the part. Part won't be here until next Monday. And the 27th is when I can put it in.
Dude,
so
you gotta wait 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
I can't bake anything for the next 2 weeks.
It's the worst. That's the worst.
Come on, man.
I know.
Wait, for 2 weeks?
Yeah. So you have no use for your oven at all for 2 weeks?
No use
of your oven. Oh, my God. Yeah,
all I got is a smoker, barbecue grill. That's it.
You're going to be hitting that grill hard, man. Yeah.
Yep.
That's that. But I'm not surprised with parts. That's where things are right now.
So you can't use the oven at all?
No, but you know what really pissing me off? I told them exactly what was wrong with it. I diagnosed the problem before it even came out, and I told them to bring it, the part.
Yeah.
That's why I'm so glad he left, because I'd have told him, because I was down there with him. I said, look, man, I know exactly what it is. This is what's wrong with it. And he said, oh, I said, I called and told them to put it on the slip saying this is what it needed. He said, okay, then. And I go upstairs. I'm on the show with you guys. I go downstairs, a note saying I'll be back on the 27th. I ordered the part. It'll be coming UPS.
Man,
dude, I told you to bring the damn part.
What, dude? They may not have been in stock. Everything you try to do now is back. It's so backlogged because of the supply lines are so limited. Like I had to order. Yeah, and here's the thing now. When you look at your rear view mirrors on the side of your cars now, I found this out from my mechanic. People are stealing those plastic caps on the back side to put them on their cars because they don't want to pay. Guess how much those things are? A cheap plastic cap, $250.
Wow,
just for the cap.
You know the big thing is now.
What?
They steal your
catalytic converters.
Yeah.
That's happening. That's happening all over. Yep. That's happening a ton. Yep.
It happened to a friend of mine. They went on vacation earlier this year, and they left their my buddy left his pickup truck at one of those offsite parking lots at Philly Airport. Came back, started up his car. Car started rumbling. Bloom, 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 bloom. Somebody had cut the catalytic converter out of it on a site with surveillance cameras, yet nobody knows anything. He waited. He calls the tow truck to come get him. 2 hours later, they're still there. He finally just drove it home because you can still drive it. It's allowed to drive, but you can still drive it. But people are still in catalytic converters in Philadelphia like it's crazy, you know. And they caught one ring. I guess it was a ring of 3 or 4 guys. They finally caught them earlier this year, but it's still going on. And I come to find out one of the cars that's the most sought after in terms of getting the catalytic converter is a Toyota Highlander. Well, lo and behold, I drive a Highlander, so I don't go to Philly much at all these days.
You know what's crazy? You want to hear a crazy story, man? When I first get to, to Philadelphia, you know, we were in the vet, And we all know how the vet was back in the day, man. It was
rough.
Like Wildcats and all
bad,
that
man.
stuff.
Bad.
So we're in a hotel. We're at the hotel, and these motorcycles come by, and it's like 12 motorcycles. They come by, they bust the windows to a bunch of our cars, and they go in and they take out the card. What does he call it? The card for, you know, not the insurance card, but the other card. The
registration?
Registration.
Okay. Yeah.
They bust the windows and steal all the registrations out.
For what?
That's all they did.
Well, what's the move for that? What is that?
What's on your registration?
Your address?
All your information.
Yeah.
The information for it, so they could take the VIN number off the registration. They could take it to your house. So then they go to your house and steal the car, and they already have a plate and insurance and everything on your car already, so they can sell it. Long story long, they go to so we park at a vet. So this is in the summertime where we're just working out.
Yeah.
So I park on one side of the vet. I park on one parking lot, and there's another parking lot, you know, like a little ways over. So I park on one side, and I go in, I do my workout, and I coming out. Now, y'all remember the old guy that used to be there? He's like 80-something years old. At the time.
Oh, yeah.
He was an older gentleman. Yep.
He looks at me and Willie T and say, "You should have paid your bill."
Wow.
Like, what is he talking about? So I just looked at it, I was like, I ain't finna mess with him. You know what I'm saying? He don't say nothing to me, no way. So I'm just gonna keep going. So I go on one side. I'm like, damn, I know I parked my truck right here. And then I go to the other side. It ain't over here either. Where's my truck? So I come back, and William Fuller's already talking to the old man. Fuller was like, "Yo, man, you let somebody take my truck, man." He's sitting there ramming it. No, I said, "No, I know who took your truck." I said, "Who took the truck then?" There's these. They said they have three or four tow trucks that were painted like light blue with a AAA sign in yellow.
In yellow.
In yellow, yes, in yellow. So they're light blue and yellow. Came in, took 3 or 4 of our cars, pulled out. I said, "You didn't think to yourself that we all didn't pay our bill?"
Oh boy,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they come take them, and as we're out there, we see the tow truck. One of the tow trucks tries to pull back in. We see him, and he and takes off.
Mm-hmm.
The police weren't there yet. Never found my truck or anything.
That's unbelievable, man.
Right.
To this day, you still don't know what a truck is?
No. Never got it back.
Wow.
Yep. Chevy Suburban.
Damn, man.
Well, you know,
good work out of security there. Just allowing that.
I should have paid my bill.
It probably said like AA, not AAA, and he still let them.
As I was saying, I had to hold William Fuller from beating the old man.
Restrain him. Yeah, no doubt. I believe it.
Well, you know, when you get cars nowadays, when you go from a dealer, they want you to buy this gap insurance. And you're thinking it's a scam, just like when Apple wants you to buy the extended warranties in case something happens. This gap insurance is in case your car gets totaled or stolen, then you'll get another car. They'll give you the money to get the car back. And, you know, you're always thinking, you know what, I ain't doing this. But you do it because nowadays you just don't know. Before, I say up until about 6-7 years ago, I was always adamantly against buying any kind of extended warranty for anything, whether it was a cell phone, a laptop, because all I thought about, man, this is a scam, man. Now I buy warranties for everything.
Yeah, it is.
I hate paying that extra $200, but I do it, man.
I do too. That's why I got, you know, that's why they can come in and fix my
without paying for parts. Yeah.
But like the stream said, they know me so well. Because if that part come before he get here, Kevin Savard, I might be fixing that joke on myself.
Yeah, you'll be doing it yourself. There's no doubt.
And make him come back and make him come back just to come back. Check and see if I did it right.
I hear you.
I'm so glad that guy was gone before Barrett got off the airwaves on a commercial break, because Rob, it would have been you and I for the next half hour before Barrett came back. He would have stood there and proved his point to this guy, and probably would have intimidated the dude to where he would have done it for free. You know,
further,
last thing Barry would
you and I doing the show from now on. Yeah. He got locked up for taking care of that.
The last thing Barrett would have been thinking about it was his obligations of being on this show. He was going to stand down there and prove his point and argue with this guy about a part.
That's right. That's right. We'd be sitting here, but you see a chair. Like, where's Barrett? I don't know. I hear some commotion upstairs or downstairs.
And that'd be the first time my mic is not muted too.
Exactly. Hear everything.
Exactly right. Yes. All right.
And we'd have to read a disclaimer. This is a family show. We apologize for what you're hearing at this time.
Yes, no one under the age of 17. So Eagles, guys, we're in that period of time where you really have time to kind of reflect on what they did in the offseason and then look ahead. It's a little reflection, little look ahead. So I was thinking about this morning. The obvious answer to almost everything is Jalen Hurts, right? Anything we ask. So who's the key to the team? What's going to happen? How are they going to be a playoff team? Well, Jalen Hurts, we know that. We know about Jalen Hurts. So for the purpose of this exercise, let's move Jalen Hurts aside for a second and just let's admit that he's the biggest concern that people have. But if you take him away, for you guys, it could be a specific player, it could be a position, it could be coaching, it could be front office turnover, whatever. What's your biggest concern for the Eagles as we sit here right now on June 13th, 2022? Barrett.
You know, I when we first talked about this, I really thought that I was going to go with A.J. Brown. I think he's crucial in the way his offense, and he was the integral part in which made all this stuff get accelerated for them being a good team earlier than they expected. That's when they went out and made the move with Bradbury and everybody else, you know. That, but I'm gonna go to the defensive side of the ball instead of saying A.J. Brown. I'm gonna say the safety position, and then I'm not gonna say Marcus Epps. I'm gonna say Harris. Harris did not play well last year. I need him to step up. Marcus Epps might be the best safety we have this year.
Yep.
I think he is the best safety we have this year. So to me, it's pivotal and it's imperative that Harris is being, you know, the leader of that secondary because he's the elder statesman, you know, besides, you know, Slade. But as far as the safeties, he's the guy that they're looking up to. So I'm gonna say Harris. Harris has to have a good season for this defense to be sound and secure.
And we don't talk much about him for sure. So interesting answer, Anthony Harris. All right, how about you, Derek?
For me, it's a combination of two things. Jonathan Gannon / pass rush. We give Jonathan Gannon the leeway from last year because we truly believe he didn't have the pieces to the equation to do some of the things that he wanted to do. But the landscape has changed drastically with Hassan Reddick, Kazir White, Nakobe Dean, Jordan Harris, so on and so forth. I want to know how aggressive he's going to be. In terms of just looking at the depth in the front seven and listening to Barrett over the last couple of weeks talking about the games you can play, moving players inside and outside. We've seen him take D ends and put them over tackles. We've seen him take D tackles and put them over offensive tackles. The type of games that they should be able to play are endless. But I have my concerns about Gannon. Now, I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, saying, okay, now that he has the pieces, we're going to see a much improved product in terms of putting pressure on quarterbacks and putting quarterbacks on their back. You cannot, there's no, as long as they stay healthy, and that's a key. If they stay healthy, there is no excuse for you not being one of the top 15 best attacking defenses in the National Football League. It's inexcusable for you to be one of the worst QB sack defenses in the National Football League as you were just a season ago. But again, because we're talking about Jonathan Gannon, I have my reservations because we haven't seen it yet. We're really not going to see it in training camp. We're really not going to see it in the preseason because everybody plays so vanilla in the preseason. But you got to unleash the hounds, just like they talked about all of 2017 about the hungry dogs want to eat. You got some hungry dogs on this defense that need to eat. And I need to see dogs chasing bones in terms of quarterbacks from start to finish throughout the course of this season. If I don't, to me, that's an extreme disappointment in terms of your defensive coordinator not utilizing an abundance of talent to the best of its ability.
That's it. Look, great answer, right? I mean, great answer right there. I agree with you, and I don't think we talk about him enough. I'm going to take it even a step further here. I'm going to go Nick Sirianni. Because, look, I certainly liked that he was willing to turn the reins over to Shane Steichen last year, that he was willing to become a running team, just to do whatever it took to win. I love that. I love the fact that when he throws that corny stuff out there, like the plant that the players bought in, honestly, the vets bought in, the Kelce's and those guys bought in, which I think goes a long way. I saw a lot of things that I liked last year. But I also saw a guy early in the season who knew the personnel that he had that was still trying to force feed an offense that didn't fit this team, which got the team in a 2-5 hole, right? I saw a team that wasn't prepared at all. And I know Tampa was better, but wasn't prepared at all for a playoff game and got their rear ends kicked, you know, and I'm just not sure. I also saw a guy who benefited from a really weak schedule to get to be 9-8. There's a lot of things that I like about Nick Sirianni, but there's a lot of things I'm not sold on. I'm very much in, you know, Barrett, I'm in sort of the similar mode that I'm in with Jalen Hurts with him. He's got to show it to me. And he's got to prove to me in his second year now that he's willing to take that step. I mean, think about like second years in recent Eagle history. Andy Reid in his second year, they're in the playoffs. Doug Peterson wins a Super Bowl in his second year. You gave him a lot of talent, man. Just like all the stuff that Gunnar just said about the defense, dead on, right? Like go to the offensive side. Gave the guy A.J. Brown. The guy has the best offensive line in football. This offense better look damn good. You better be able to develop this quarterback. And I want to see this team take that step forward, especially with a weaker schedule. And I think Dallas coming back to earth a little bit. You know, certainly the gap's closing with those two teams. So for me, it's about showing me that you're the real guy this year, Nick Sirianni. This is not, hey, he was the 5th choice and he kind of lucked into the playoffs because the schedule stunk. No, now you're on the clock, dude, because they gave you talent in the offseason. And I think the front office feels that way too about him.
Well, yeah,
so
you're right. I
me,
mean,
it's
a good point. It's a good point.
I mean, you're absolutely right. Look at what's been done in the past. You know, you can't really you can't hold him to that standard, but I am holding to a standard that, okay, you realize what it takes to get into the playoffs. You had a relatively easy schedule. Once again, you got another relatively easy schedule. I know you play who you play, but it's all laid out there for you. They've given you everything that you wanted. You know what I'm saying? And then more. You know, I've never seen them give a coach all the linebackers that they gave this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
saying? We haven't seen that. We have literally not seen it.
Exactly.
We haven't seen it. Yeah.
He gave them a defense. They drafted and acquired a defense in one offseason. Now I got to see these guys work. And Nick, you know, say what you want to say. You're an offensive guy. That's why you gave Steichen all the power to call plays. Now you could, you know, not just stick around down there, but you need to take your ass down there and see what Gannon's doing also.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Get them going also.
Delegate and hold people accountable. You know, something we don't talk about. Look, Jake Elliott was great, but all the other phases of the Eagles special teams last year stunk. The punter fell apart.
No question.
They had no return game. So I want to see a more complete team this year. And that responsibility falls on the head coach. He's got to get every one of these units better. You know, some of the things, look,
they were actually weak. They were weak in the special teams.
I want him to hold Gannon responsible for a team that now has talent on the defensive side of the ball and get the most out of that unit too. So there's a lot. I have much greater expectations this year of Nick Sirianni. Last year, he's a rookie head coach who had a limited roster coming off a 4-win team. So I'm giving that guy all kinds of breathing room last year. I'm not this year. Now I need to see that you can coach, man. And the other thing is, we've talked about the NFC and the AFC guys. I don't think the NFC is a great conference. I think Dallas is good. You know, I think Green Bay lost some firepower. We know, you know, Brady's still there with the Bucs, obviously. The Rams are the champs, but I don't think anybody else is invincible, man. Like, I don't think Arizona's invincible. I don't think San Francisco's invincible. New Orleans, Minnesota, who the Eagles are going to see pretty early in the season. None of those teams. Like, you should be a good team with this conference.
Yep. And see, one of my bigger concerns you guys just touched on is, who are your return men for this team? I mean, you look at the teams that have returned. Now, obviously, they've taken a lot away from the kickoff return to reduce the head traumas and stuff like that. But you look at the better teams; they have blazers back there, field and punch. I don't want Kenneth Gainwell returning kickoffs. He's a plotter. He's not a. Who? I'm looking at the depth chart now. Your leading punt returner is Greg Ward. Why?
Yeah.
Now,
he's a possession guy.
Why?
You're happy if he just catches it, and that's not a knock on him. He shouldn't be asked to do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's
now your leading kickoff returner is Kenneth Gainwell. Why? Now, number 2. Now, here's what's scary. As of right now, your number 2 return man for both punt return and kickoff return is Jalen Reagor. How many times did we see him botch the ball? back there trying to field the punt?
I will say this: I honestly don't think they're going to do that again this year, guys. I don't.
Well, do you want Devontae Smith back there? I mean,
no.
Are you going to put that guy back there?
No,
okay,
no,
you going to put Quez Watkins back there? Who you
I
going
don't
to
know
put?
if Quez can do it. I honestly, I don't know if Quez can do it. Yeah, I know, Derek.
A Blazer.
We don't have anybody right now.
We probably don't talk about that enough. Like, I don't know who it is. Honestly.
And what we need to also talk about is our punting situation. Man, I mean, the first 5 games.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
First 5 games, Sipples was all right. He was just all right.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, the last like 8-9 games,
terrible.
He virtually sucked.
Yep.
He couldn't turn the field for nothing.
I don't even want him back. Like, I don't want him in a competition in camp. I want to move on. I don't
He did
even
nothing to help our turning the field. He did nothing.
Stunk in the playoff game too. He hurt him in the playoff game. In addition to that, yeah.
Well, first of all,
he's shanked too.
Yep.
He's
Shankopotamus, man. That's what he is.
Well, see, anytime you ever return a punter and his last name is Sippus, that's a red flag because that's not even a punter name. So your last name is Sippus. I mean, seriously, that sounds like a Dr. Seuss story.
I miss Donnie Longball, man. I'm longing for
Lindetta.
You know what? Cam Johnson wasn't a bad punter. I don't understand.
No, he wasn't.
Like, what
he
happened?
could boom it. He could boom it.
They had to pay him, and they couldn't pay him and Elliott.
Yeah,
they couldn't pay both of them.
Yeah, that's a shame because he was solid. He was solid.
Oh, he was great.
Yeah,
and I can remember when we were first talking about him. He was like, "Why do they keep bringing this kid back?" And then he gets a chance to go out there and punt, and he was like, "Okay, I see why."
Yes,
he was changing the field, man. He actually made an impact.
Good
on the defensive side of the ball, which helped them out immensely, man. Pinning guys down there. We couldn't get any of that from Sippos.
No, it's worrisome. Like I said, the only thing Sippos is Philly 559. Sounds like an infection. I got a case of Sippos, man. I need some help. I gotta go to the doctor. No, but really, the only thing you feel good about is Elliott, and Elliott was great last year, but nothing else. Nothing else is good enough right now. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
And he's a rookie coach too. He's young. He's a young. I think it's like this is his first job really being a coordinator. But my kids are older than him. He's like 29, 28 years old.
He's in his 20s. Yeah. He was with the Eagles. He was at the Eagles for a little bit. Yeah.
Michael Clay.
Paul Mancini in the chat room puts out there only 20% of kickoffs are returned. Which is true, but still, that 20%, I want somebody that can find a seam and go. Once he gets that daylight, you're not going to catch him from behind.
It's more punts for me that I want to see some kind of impact there. I don't want just securing. The other thing is, here's the other
field, man.
Well, the other area that Reagor would kill you is, the occasional fumble or not a great, but having no idea when to catch a ball or when to let it go for a touchback. He just had no feel whatsoever. So. I don't.
Not just a job; it's an adventure.
Yeah, my hope is they don't force feed him again to try and justify him. But I don't think they will. But you never quite know. All right, so
I'm just saying. Yeah. Look at the roster. What do you have? I would say the obvious choice would be Devontae Smith, but that's all you need to get him broke. I mean, Deshaun Jackson was a great punt returner. He's about the same size.
Derek,
about the same size as Devontae Smith.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it.
You get him broken up. Return too.
You're not gonna put Slay back there. Oh yeah, you're right.
You can't lose
Slay back there.
You can't, and he's 31 now. I just can't risk. Oh man, it's not good.
So do you keep Britton Covey on the team just because of that?
What else can he do for you?
Yeah, it depends how he looks in camp, guys. Honestly, I'm not opposed to it. Right. I'm not opposed to it, but can Devin Allen return a punt? I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, it's a ball. Well, yeah, right. Can he catch a ball? Is exactly right. Yeah, we need Darren Sproles back, as the Birdman said. That's for sure.
Jeez.
All right, I brought this up Friday, and I want to dive into it when we get back. So I watched. I don't know if you guys have watched it over the weekend yet or not, but I watched Hustle last Thursday, and we talked. I gave you a little review, but it was based in Philadelphia. The movie. When we come back, and I want our folks listening, our folks watching on the stream, our folks in the comment section to jump in on this as well and give us yours. But I want to hear from you guys too, and we'll debate this and kick it around. Hustle was based in Philadelphia. What was the best movie shot in Philadelphia? We will do that when we get back a little later. Some more Eagles stuff. We're going to dive a little bit when it comes to the Eagles in the 2 o'clock hour into the succession plan. Jimmy Kempski wrote a very interesting piece today for Philly Voice. We'll dive into that as well at 2 o'clock. All right, so we come back. Philly area shot movies. Rank them. We will include Hustle in that as well. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. All right, it is time for me to tell you about my friends at Pro Action Restoration. Here's the deal. If you own a home or a business or a property and you've experienced water, fire, smoke, mold damage, whatever the case may be, and you're not sure who to turn to, I got the folks for you. Pro Action is on call 24 hours, 7 days a week to assist you. I've gone through it. I've lived this. I am not just telling you this. I had it happen at my parents' house. I reached out to them. They got over there fast. They cleaned it up quick, and it was a mess, okay? And the price was reasonable. They were very professional. The whole crew was just absolutely great. The awesome part about this, too, is they are licensed, bonded, and fully insured. They've been serving the tri-state area for more than 2 decades. Pro Action will work in conjunction with your insurance company as well. That's huge. All right, so give them a call. Whether it's water, fire, smoke damage, mold remediation, you name it, they can handle it. 610-623-3760, or you can email them at proactionrestoration.com, proactionrestoration.com.
Go for the pulls and the pools. Go for the oohs and the ahs. Go for the bubbles and the bubbly. Go for the story and the stories. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you. Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3. Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
At Action News, we cherish every moment, and it's our profound responsibility to bring you closer to your world. Never miss a moment. Trust the people at Action News.
All right, did you know I was the mommy slam dunk champion?
Really?
Yes, really, don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, I go to left, got fake 'em out. Mama go up, up, up.
She did it.
Again? You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Uh-huh. Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Sake, Rob Ellis, Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks. Hey, tomorrow, guys, program reminder. We are going to have new Villanova head basketball coach, Kyle Neptune. He's going to join us at 12:30. And then at 1 o'clock, Tom McCarthy. We may have another surprise guest for you as well.
We confirmed it.
Oh, we locked it in?
We locked it in. We will have former return specialist Brian Mitchell joining us at 2 p.m. tomorrow to talk about the state of the Washington Commies and Jack Del Rio situation.
Commies. Love it.
So he just hit me with a text saying 2 o'clock tomorrow is fine. I said, okay.
All right,
we good.
Strong show, man. Kyle Neptune, Tom McCarthy, and Brian Mitchell tomorrow. Boom. I love it. I love it. Yeah.
People don't want to hear from us class clowns anymore, man. We're out of control.
Well, B. Mitch does not bite his tongue, man. He does not bite. And Tom was actually our very first guest on Sports Take, so we'll have Tom on.
Yes, he was.
I'm curious to hear from Kyle. You're taking over for a legend, man. You're taking over for a Hall of Famer, a guy who's won 2 national championships. Barry, you're muted, but go ahead.
That is tough, man. I mean, it's always tough, man. That following up somebody that great, and then those shoes may be too hard to fill, bro.
I'll tell you what impressed me, Barrett. You know, in this day and age, the way kids jump and transfer and they're just gone in 2 seconds, the way things are working now with the transfer portal. Not only did nobody transfer, but he also held on to all the big time recruits who were already committed here. They didn't jump ship, which they could have because Jay left. So
that's right.
That's a win out of the gate right there for Kyle Neptune. So we'll talk to him tomorrow. But that B. Mitch is a guy who's going to be great, not only on Washington, but the whole NFC East. Ooh. And man, you name it. He's fun. He is. He doesn't hold back. That's for sure.
Hey, he doesn't care if you like the Washington football team or not. You know what I'm saying? If he thinks they suck, he gonna let you know they suck.
That's right.
Yeah, he's not a company man. That's for sure. Man.
Definitely not. Definitely
we know that. All right. So I mentioned this, and we're getting some great answers, by the way, in the comment section. That's why I knew we'd have some fun with this today. But I mentioned the movie Hustle, which I recommend to people. I thought it was really entertaining. I thought it was. I would put it in the good to very good category. Not great, but certainly worth your while. From Adam Sandler, who was awesome in it, and it was shot in Philadelphia. There was some great scenes in Manayunk, some great scenes in South Philly at the Wells Fargo Center, at the Sixers complex, all that kind of stuff. So excellent stuff there, shot in Philadelphia. So it got me thinking. We've had a lot of awesome movies shot in the city. There's one that's pretty obvious, clearly, Rocky, right? Which I almost put it in the GOAT category, and then it's almost like the Jalen Hurts discussion we just had. Put that aside. Where are you going after that? I'll ask you guys. When you think it could either be like the first movie that comes to mind for you, or the one that you think it was the best that showed the city off. Whatever. What would it be for you guys?
I like World War Z, bro.
World War Z.
I love that movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that.
I watch it over and over again, man. That's
me too.
Movie,
okay,
yeah.
I haven't seen that one. I gotta see
what?
Yeah.
With Brad Pitt? You never seen that one? Oh, you gotta see that
World War
one.
Z? No.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what happens when you live in a cubby hole in the basement. You miss all the good stuff.
Don't make me try and get through that mess in there. Okay, I will do it. All right, so you go. All right, that's an interesting answer, Barrett. How about you, Derek? Which one you going?
What? I got 5. I thought we were doing a top 5.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
no?
give me your list.
All right, my number 5 is Trading Places. That's one of my all-time favorites.
Yes.
I love Trading Places. Eddie Murphy, Dan Aykroyd, Jamie Lee Curtis. I love that movie, and if I see it on, I'll sit there and watch it again.
By the way, that is peak Jamie Lee Curtis. Just saying.
Yeah, I wonder why, Rob. Why?
I'm just saying that was prime.
But why, Rob? Why?
No,
you see his face, Barrett? Look at his face, Barrett. Dude.
Yeah, 12-year-old Rob enjoyed Jamie Lee Curtis back then. Anyway.
Rob will be served divorce papers this evening.
Yeah, I keep it. It's all right. It is what it is.
My number 4 is
great movie, by the way. Great movie.
Yeah, awesome movie. My number 4 is Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
And when that kid, what's the kid's name? Haley Joel Osment. When he says, what was the line?
I see dead people. Yes.
Oh man, I was like, you get chills, man, when they said, "Oh my god!"
Such a great twist on that. The ending of that is just so good, man.
Dude, what a great movie. Now,
M.
my
Night
number
Shyamalan,
3,
man, phenomenal.
Oh, another M. Night Shyamalan. You know what? I know somebody whose wife is good friends with his wife. I'm gonna try to get him on this show. We got to get M. Night Shyamalan on this show.
Die Hard.
I gotta ask him, dude. When you sleep at night, do you dream every night and just wake up saying, "That's a movie"? I gotta ask this dude.
He's incredible, man. He's prolific. He really is. He is amazing. All right, that's a good, strong list. I like it.
All right, my number 3, Law-Abiding Citizen.
Love Law-Abiding.
Oh my goodness, Jamie Foxx, Gerard Butler. Oh man, what? And the ending to that movie is crazy.
Ooh.
How he keeps slipping out of jail, and they can't figure out how he's getting out of jail to get to off all these people. Oh my goodness, man! What a great
that's a classic TNT. It's on all the time kind of movie too. When you're flipping around, that's a really good one.
Now my number 2, I found out I was kind of disappointed. It was filmed in Doylestown, so it wasn't filmed in Philly. But it's my list. I can put it on here if I want. Signs. Whenever I see Signs, I stop to watch that movie with Mel Gibson. And the line in the movie, oh my goodness. Joaquin Phoenix plays his younger brother who was a flop as a minor league baseball player.
Yep.
And when the alien comes in the house and Mel Gibson says, "Swing away, Merrill, swing away," and he pulls that bat off the wall.
Yes.
Man, if I was Merrill, out of 36 ounce alien walk in my house, I'm a Louisville slugger him to death until ain't nothing left of him.
Yeah, it's a great. I saw that in the theater, man. That movie was awesome. Awesome.
Oh my goodness. And the music that accompanies it.
Yes.
Oh. And then you got the gut-wrenching scene where his wife's been over the front of the car and the policeman tells her, she ain't gonna make it. And she's talking to him. It's like, oh man. Can you imagine going through something like that? Oh.
Yeah.
And then my number one is an obvious one, Rocky. I mean, and when I first moved to Philly, I would always joke, because all I heard when I first moved to Philly was, we don't have championships here. We don't have championships. And I said, well, you have a statue of a fictitious character by the art museum. I mean, isn't that something? People be like, shut up, man. Shut up. And the
like
it's kind of I don't know if I want to say embarrassing when one of your favorite trademarks or tourist attractions is taking a picture with a statue of a movie character.
Watch it. Watch it, Gunner.
See, Rob knows what I'm talking about.
I know where you live, man. Don't be doing that kind of stuff.
Dude, it could be Rocky 5, 6, 7, 12, 15. I'm watching. Every Rocky movie that comes out, I'm watching them. So
like
when
Creed,
you fight the
Creed
Russian
in there
dude,
too. Creed is great.
You know what? I'll wait till after you guys give your list, and I'm going to tell you some movies I left off the list, which was hard to do.
All right.
So
I'll give you my 5. Yeah, I'm with you. I have 5 that didn't make the cut, which are awesome too. So it's not a diss on those movies. But anyway, I went number 5, Trading Places, for all the reasons you just. I thought it was like, Center City is portrayed really in a great way, and it's and Eddie Murphy. Man, I love Eddie Murphy. Anyway, so I'm a sucker for Eddie Murphy. But all right, Trading Places. 6th Sense to me, absolutely, belongs in anyone. And I believe, I'd have to look this up. I think they used Questlove's house that he had in South Philly in the filming of that. I'm going to have to go back and check that. I should have checked it before the show.
Really?
I'll look it up. Yeah, I'll look it up as we go. My number 3 is Philadelphia, the Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington movie.
Oh, yeah.
Which shot in Philly as well. Denzel defends Tom Hanks, who's wrongfully being fired, because of sexual preference and AIDS. Yeah,
right.
And they're both brilliant in it. I mean, absolutely phenomenal. That's my number 3. My number 2 is Silver Linings Playbook, which I think I've told you guys this before. Fun fact: shot in my old neighborhood where I grew up. The house that all the scenes are filmed in, I know it's the Higgins family. I know the family where they shot it. Literally on South Madison Avenue in Upper Darby. That's where they shot this thing. So we hit, close up. I thought De Niro as the neurotic, had to sit in the same place, can't move the remote father, degenerate gambler, always battling with his buddy who's a Cowboys fan, and of course all the other stuff that goes along with it. But that was that's a great movie. And then Rocky's the GOAT. Rocky's the GOAT.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's not even close. So I go Trading Places, 6th Sense, Philadelphia, Silver Linings Playbook, and Rocky as my number 1. That's my 5. So Barry, you want to hit a couple other, or Derek, do you want to give your missed out list? Go ahead, Derek. Barry, go ahead.
World War Z is my number 1. Trading Spaces is number 2. And let me tell you also about Trading Spaces. Remember I told you guys that M. Night Shyamalan, my cousin, is she does all the props and everything. She's a set design and stuff like that, props and stuff.
Yeah.
It's my wife's cousin that does it, Kia Streeves Dickerson.
Dude, that's awesome.
Her dad, her dad. The reason she got into it is because her dad was actually the set directors for, not set director, but the prop director, does all the stuff for Trading Spaces.
Right.
In fact,
wow.
Did you remember the guy that's sitting on that rollerboard? Or
yeah.
That's her dad. That's actually her dad.
No kidding.
No kidding.
That's her dad. Yeah. So even in so the next I'll go Sixth Sense.
Okay.
Well, I'll go Rocky, then I'll go Sixth Sense. And you look at Sixth Sense, like when you see the inhaler and stuff like that, that's my inhaler. That's actually my inhaler because she didn't have an inhaler. She didn't have asthma. She used my inhalers for those scenes.
Are you serious, man?
Yeah, for all the props and stuff like that. Yeah. So she used my stuff for that stuff. And, a lot of the movies she does, she uses props, from everyday life inside the movies. She also did the Rocky movie you guys were just talking about? Creed. Yeah, she did Creed also.
Yeah. No kidding.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I've got to put up there. Then I'm gonna go Unbreakable.
Great one. That's another M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah.
Yep. And then I think then I'll go Signs after that.
Okay. Good choices, man. I like that. Yeah, that's good. You could literally have a list of just M. Night Shyamalan.
Right.
He could do his own, your top 10 of those, for sure. All right, Gunnar, give me your miss the cut choices.
Well, Invincible missed the cut. I liked it, but I didn't really love the movie. An older movie called Dress to Kill. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
Movie, Dress to Kill. That was a good suspense movie. I
forgot about that. Yeah.
World War Z made my initial list, and I had to bump it off because I replaced it with something else. What about 21 Bridges with Chadwick Boseman? God rest his soul. That was a good movie. That was a more recent movie.
Oh, I thought that was New York for some reason. Was that Philly? Okay.
Philly, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unbreakable didn't make my list. How about Harrison Ford's movie Witness? You remember that one?
Yeah. Yes.
That's a great movie where he plays
was a police officer. Yeah.
And he's trying to protect his kid on an Amish farm who saw a murder.
Yeah, Lancaster and Philly is where they shot that. Yeah.
Now here's one. I've watched when I can't. You remember the movie 12 Monkeys?
Yes.
100. Brad Pitt. 100%.
Yeah, Brad Pitt. Yep. Madeline Stowe was in that movie.
Yep.
Where virus breaks out, everybody has to live underground until they figure out this virus. But
it's an underrated. It's an underrated movie. I agree.
Wait, I'm looking at Bob 316 said Dress to Kill caused an incident on a 49ers team flight. Walsh fired the team communication guy. Really? I never heard that story.
Wow, I didn't hear about it either.
I never heard anything about that. Really?
No.
Wow. But there's so many movies, dude, that you don't realize were made in Philadelphia. Not being a native Philadelphian, I watched all these movies. I'm thinking, I never knew that was in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Until I started looking this stuff up. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Another movie pretty good was Split. I don't know if you guys remember Split, but
Split, yes.
Great movie.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing movie, man.
That's a great movie. All right, so I'll give you my is that all yours, Gunnar?
Yeah, that's it.
I would say Unbreakable. I'd say 12 Monkeys. I'd say Foxcatcher.
Ooh.
Which was about John DuPont,
yep.
the wrestler, and it's a Channing Tatum and Steve Carell are brilliant in it. In it. He was Barry. You should check that out, dude.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, I'm told 21 Bridges was in NYC. My bad. I thought it was Philly. All right, my bad.
I had Invincible. I'll give you another one. It's kind of cheesy and it's not a great movie, but I got to tell you, if it's on, I watch it all the time. Shooter with Mark Wahlberg. I really like that movie.
Yes.
Who else is in that? Oh God. There's a bunch of people in it. Yeah, Kate Mara's in it. Oh man, Danny Glover's in it.
Wow,
it's pretty good. They recruit him. He thinks he's defending an assassination attempt on the president, and the president is making a speech in Philly, but they end up trying to frame him for it, and then everything kind of explodes from there. But it's all shot in Philadelphia. It's a good movie for sure. It was good. But Foxcatcher is one. It's technically not in the city, but it's out in the burbs. Gunnar, it's actually like it's out closer to Delaware, but it's in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Area, but it's good. It's well done. And Steve Carell, I think, was nominated for an Academy Award for it. But it was pretty interesting.
Transformers 2 was
yes.
Revenge of the Fallen was shot in Philly too.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
I didn't know
that.
Yep.
Yep.
So Mr. Taz says that Rocky's house was actually only a couple of blocks away from his grandparents' house in on Snyder Ave. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool there. Yeah. So we were talking a lot about the impetus for it was hustle and basketball. Let me ask you guys this, just staying on the basketball thing for a second. with the Sixers right now, and again, we're in kind of a quiet period right now, but there is a little bit of movement in the NBA. A couple, other than the championship I'm talking about, there was a couple. I think there's a trade that's going to be made here, but nothing major. What's your sense here? And the trade is the Nuggets are dealing JaMychal Green to Oklahoma City for a first-round pick. What's your sense here with the Sixers? Is it just try and add some little pieces, or are they going to make some noise here this offseason? What's your sense of what they end up doing?
I think they make a little noise. I know people want wholesale changes. That's not going to happen because of their salary cap restraints. But as I said a couple of weeks ago on this show, I think they can make small moves, but yet be effective moves. If they can find a mid-level tough guy, and they can find a mid-level assassin from beyond the arc, I think that would enhance the product. Now, obviously, you bring a couple guys in, a couple guys got to go, and I can think of 5 or 6 guys that can go real easy, and I won't miss them. But I think if they stayed mid-level, but if they can find another Seth Curry type player, and find a poor man's like Draymond Green or PJ Tucker, somebody like that that's not going to kill you financially. I think that would enhance the product overall and make them a legitimate threat next year.
All right. How about you, Barrett? What do you think?
I just don't see them really being able to go out and star chase like they initially said. I mean, like we can do it without a George Niang, DeAndre Jordan, Matisse Thybulle.
Yeah.
We could do without those players. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even though I like Shake, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like, he's untradeable. Korkmaz. I mean, we have a lot of dudes here. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Just dudes. You know what I'm saying? And I was just a dude in the league. You know what I'm saying? I was a dude. You know what I mean? So I understand.
Yeah.
But we don't have the right dudes here. You know what I'm saying? Dudes that are going to go out and do the little things. Sometimes you need an enforcer. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that type of guy here. And that's what you need. You need an enforcer. You need a guy who's going to go in and do the dirty work. We don't have that. We don't have, like you said, D-Gun, we don't have a sharpshooter. We don't have anybody, that gets, is respected, beyond the three-point arc. We just don't have it. Yeah. Who is Jaden Springer? We still don't know who this kid is.
We never saw him. Yeah. Yeah. First-round pick. We never saw him. Look, Barrett, to me, if Daryl Morey fancies himself and he's thought of around the league as being one of the great GMs, then I'm not accepting anything short of making some impactful moves here. I know you can't star hunt to an extent with the financial situation, but figure it out, man. Figure it out. You were able to unload Al Horford, which in hindsight, who knows what that even looks like now with the way he's played, but it wasn't happening here. But you were able to unload him. You're able to get rid of Josh Richardson and get Seth Curry back here. You were able to do things when you first got here. So I want to see that same level of creativity this offseason, because you can't run this back. It's going to be the same movie, speaking of movies, over again, where they get bounced in the second round. They're not good enough to get past Miami, Milwaukee, Boston. I'm missing somebody. They're not good enough to get past those teams. So you're going to see the same thing if it's just Tobias and Joel and, et cetera, et cetera. Harden, Thybulle, whatever. It's not good enough. Maxey. It's not good enough. They need to get impactful players in here and figure out a way to get it done, plain and simple. If they don't, it's on him, because you were brought here and paid a ton of money to be that guy. Yeah. So be that guy.
What's your number one get though?
Like
shooter.
Me,
shooter,
a 3-point shooter, or just a wing shooter?
Yeah, a wing shooter who can create a little bit too, but a shooter badly. They need this league. You got to be able to shoot. If you can't shoot, man, it's going to be real hard in this league. And they don't have shooters. They don't. Maxey's improved his shot a lot, but they don't have. There's no snipers.
No, we don't.
See, they have one, but they don't. Niang could be that guy, but he's too inconsistent. One night he can't miss. One night he can't miss. The next 3 nights he can't even hit the rim.
Yeah,
he has the ability to be that guy, but you don't know what you're going to get from him night in and night out.
Nope, and he can't defend.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
he's such. He's such a. You can't be that unathletic, man. I mean, understand you 6'9", but you can't be that unathletic, man, to be out there. You can't. He's a defensive liability.
Yeah, and Barrett, he doesn't rebound either for a guy with that size.
Right.
So he's really a one-trick pony, and if that trick isn't, he's killing you if that's not there.
And it wasn't there. It wasn't there throughout the playoffs.
Nope. He was bad. He was one of the, it wasn't the only reason, but he was one of the many reasons that they finished where they finished and they got bounced where they got bounced. Because if you think about it, who was, I'll defend Doc here. I mean, who are you going to on that bench?
Exactly.
You had nothing, man.
No.
He finally realized you couldn't play DeAndre Jordan. He was unplayable. B-Ball Paul gave him a little bit, but there just was not nearly enough. Occasionally Shake would give you a little, occasionally, whatever. Thibault even became unplayable.
What happened to Korkmaz? Korkmaz used to be he used to be pretty good, man. He used to be able to bomb from from 3-point range.
He's inconsistent too, Barrett. You never know what the heck you're getting with that guy, and he can't defend either.
Well, I just know right now we don't need Jordan, we don't need Millsap, we don't need Reed, and we don't need Niang either.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree.
Yeah.
There's got to be you got to trim fat here with this team, and that you can't. It just can't look the same way. I don't know how they can't sit there if they're really justifying in their head and saying, "All right, we're going to run it back, but you're going to have Harden the whole year, and that hamstring's going to be great, and you're going to have a full off season for Embiid to like." If you're doing all that stuff, you're totally kidding yourself.
Right.
You're not being honest with the talent level or lack thereof that you have on this team. You're just not. Plain and simple. All right, we're coming back here, guys, and when we do come back, we're going to dive a little bit more into the Eagles and the succession plan. I was reading this story today from Jimmy Kempski from Philly Voice. The Eagles, if you look at them, in some ways they're really young, but in other ways they are still counting heavily on guys that are over 30, and we know that could be a little bit dangerous in the NFL. So we'll look at some of the succession plans and who could be the people to step up either, hopefully maybe not this year, but going forward with some of those guys. We'll do that when we get back. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network.
Go for the polls and the pools. Go for the oohs and the ahs. Go for the bubbles and the bubbly. Go for the story and the stories. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
On the field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
At Action News, we cherish every moment, and it's our profound responsibility to bring you closer to your world. Never miss a moment. Trust the people at Action News.
All right, did you know I was the mommy slam dunk champion?
Really?
Yes, really, don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, I go to left, fake 'em out. Mama, go up, up, up.
She did it.
Again? You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Uh-huh. Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging with us. We are Sports Take. Rob Ellis, Eric Gunn, Barrett Brooks on this Monday. Again, tomorrow, well, Villanova coach Kyle Neptune, Tom McCarthy, and the one and only Brian Mitchell will be joining us as well. All right, so I mentioned this before the break, guys, and looking at this Eagles roster, you have some key guys who are getting up there a little bit in age, that's for sure. Jason Kelsey, 34 years old. Brandon Graham, 34 years old. Lane Johnson, 32 years old. Darius Slay, 31 years old. Fletcher Cox, 31. I didn't realize Anthony Harris was 30. Not to mention a couple of guys who could potentially be depth guys like Richard Rodgers, if he's back again, 30 years old. Matt Leo, 30 years old. So you have some critical people. I mean, Kelsey is a critical piece. Brandon Graham is going to be a critical piece coming off the Achilles. We know Lane Johnson. We know Slay. We know Fletcher. Whether people wanted him back or not, he's back for $14 million a year. Anthony Harris, who Barrett brought up earlier. So these are some pretty, heavy type hitters here that you're going to be counting on that may not be here, in the very near future.
How about
as we take a look? Go ahead, Barrett.
How about Lane Johnson? He's also a guy that's up there. I think this might be his 10th year or 9th year.
He's 32. Yeah. He's 32, man.
I mean, that's pretty long in the tooth, even though he's still playing at a high level. And he set out 10 games one year.
He's got the bad ankle, which thankfully held up last year. He did, but he's got the bad ankle for sure.
But I just think that I think that I think they have a nice little mix of guys that are in their transition to being older guys that are still young. Like Jalen Hurts, he'll be 34. I mean, he'll be 24 years old.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You got A.J. Brown, 24 years old.
Mm-hmm. Devontae Smith, what is he, 22, 23, whatever
exactly.
he is.
Yeah.
So, they don't have a lot of old guys.
Mm-hmm.
Milton Williams, young.
Yeah. Yep.
Then you have the transitional guys that are getting up there in age, the Derek Barnett's, and then you have the Sweats. Those guys, are at a point where, Kazir White, where they can make that transition, hopefully, into being the veteran guys that, BG and all them guys are right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they have an interesting mix, a pretty good mix.
Do we feel good about the succession plans for those guys? Now, Cam Jurgens was a guy they drafted partly because Kelsey really liked him. He thought he resembled him the most when he was scouting him. And he was a guy who he wanted them to, to go after. So, you got to take that into account, right? That's certainly a guy who you look at. Is there a succession plan there for Slay? Is there a succession plan there? It seems like there's one in place for Fletcher Cox, for sure.
Yes, yeah.
With Anthony Davis, or Jordan Davis, excuse me. Is there one for Anthony Harris? There doesn't appear to be one. Is there one for Slay? There doesn't appear to be one.
No.
BG. This is where you get a little bit worried that you're trying to milk another year out of these guys in their early to mid 30s.
That's the problem.
You look at Jason Kelsey, and you have to kill Jason Kelsey to get him off the field. So Jason Kelsey is going to be your mainstay no matter what. Mm-hmm. Cam Jurgens couldn't have a better mentor in terms of helping him get ready for what's to come. And because we've been listening to Jason talk about retirement for the last 3 to 4 years, we know the end is almost in sight. Jason Kelsey is not going to be one of these guys who hangs on just for a paycheck. When his time comes, he will more than willing step aside and let the next man up take over. Basically, Jason Kelsey is coming back right now because he still feels he has a lot to give to the game. But that could end by the end of this season. And, of course, a percentage of it will be determined by what he looks at when he sees his team on the field, what's their record, what's the talent level like going ahead for 2023. When it comes to BG, I would say Hassan Reddick could be that guy who could be his replacement when Brandon Graham's time is up. I don't think the offensive line will ever be in bad shape, even if Lane Johnson left. When you look at the way they bring offensive linemen in here and get them ready to play, as long as Jeff Stoutland is tutoring the offensive line, that offensive line is going to be in good shape. My biggest concern is what is their plan for the corners, because James Bradbury is the latest Steve Nelson. It's a 1-year deal. You don't know what he's going to be like after the season. He could go to somewhere else. Eagles may sour on him. Mm-hmm. Darius Slay, we don't know what the future holds. Right now, there is no there is no comfort zone with the cornerback position on this team. You don't look at the cornerback position and say, well, I feel good about this young kid possibly stepping in and getting significant playing time. I don't see it right now. So it's a mix of the haves and the have-nots, and every team goes through this. You've got to go through this and find your way, and hopefully you find that diamond in the rough who's ready to take that next step. So this is a team that has to win now with an unproven quarterback. Can they get it done? We can sit here and debate it all we want, but until we start looking at the W's and the L's as the season unfolds, we can't answer that question.
It is a weird mix when you think about it, right?
Yeah.
So you go into it with so much question about the quarterback, yet you were aggressive in getting A.J. Brown. You were aggressive in signing Bradbury. You were aggressive in some of the Hassan Reddick signing. Those are the types of signings like sort of win now. I mean, especially when you consider all the players that are over 30, but you're not there with the quarterback. You may be, but you don't know if
you don't know. No,
it's a strange dynamic they have going on there for sure, Barrett.
I don't see this team at this point try to replace these guys any sooner than, within the next 2 years, man, because I really think that they feel as though they have in place a championship caliber team. They may not say it, but I think they're thinking that this is a championship caliber team. So they're not trying to, at this point, because I can see them signing Fletch back another year. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
You talk about running it back. They're going to try to run this back again. And they're going to try to get, because a guy, like it or not, they believe in this roster being a championship type of roster right now. And I can't say that right now. I'm not in disbelief of that.
No, I like the roster. I think they're thin at certain spots, but I think everybody is. When you in the salary cap age, you're not going to have 2 or 3 studs lined up behind guys.
Right.
You're just not. Yeah. So as thin as they are, the secondary is the one that really stands out. But as thin as they are at certain positions, they're no different than anybody else, man, including the Rams, including whoever you consider the best of the best. They all have issues.
And they really believe, like I was saying before, they really believe in Zach McPherson. They believe in Kayvon Wallace. You look at, they believe in Craig James. They like him. They like Josiah Scott. These are all guys that are in the rotation. You know what I'm saying? Kerry Vincent Jr. All these guys are in the rotation. With not just the second team, but with the starters. They mix and match these guys with the starters. McPherson, and when I saw in practice, I think that he's going up the ranks of being, one of their better corners. They like him a lot at the cornerback position.
Did they like him enough where it could be a one and done for Bradbury and then he slides in there the following year as the starter? I mean, he was when we were doing this earlier, guys, and we were talking about players that we're concerned about. Bradbury would fit that bill for me for this reason. I love the signing, by the way. So this is not a knock, and he's better, I think, right now than what they could have put out there with Slay. But he did have a bad year last year, and I hope that's not where this is starting to trend for him. I hope this was just a fluky kind of year, and it just didn't work out for him in New York, and it was time to move on. He's sort of a wait and see player for me on this team right now.
He in practice, he
struggled a little bit. Yeah.
It wasn't like he was, playing better than Zach McPherson. Put it like that.
And the only thing I would worry about, Barrett, is he's being paid a lot of money. I don't know.
$10 million worth of money.
Yeah. So I think he's going to get every benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
Especially compared to somebody who drafted it who was non-first round. So that's why I think he's going to be safe. But look, you got to do what's best if you're trying to win now for sure. And I think they view it as, like we talked about earlier, the NFC's not a great conference. It's there, man.
It's almost to the detriment of this team that it's so easy because the expectations from us as fans and us as analysts, they got to put up a shut up. This is by far, what's this, the third easiest schedule? The third easiest schedule?
Fourth in terms of winning percentage, I think. Fourth easiest in terms of winning percentage. But some people would argue it's the second easiest schedule by different metrics. So either way, I mean, you get the point. It's pretty winnable.
I believe that they're right on pace. And they'll be able to compete, you know, and it's not just our division, but I'm talking about in the conference. This conference is so weak, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got it's top heavy. You got the 4 teams that are top heavy that you see is like the Rams, Tampa, Green Bay. All right, three.
Are you talking about
three.
How would you rank them if you're running through them?
No, what I'm saying is as far as the top heavy teams in the conference.
Well, you got to go Rams. You still have to go Bucks, don't you? And then I guess Packers.
Yep. And then after that, what is it? I said 4. It's actually 3 that I would put in that, upper echelon of teams. Then after that, I think it becomes very, very winnable. You know, you look at the Cardinals, San Fran,
Dallas,
New Orleans.
Yeah.
All those teams, Minnesota, all those teams around, and the Eagles are in the same pack. They're all running around in the same pack, trying to bite at those top 3, legs.
Yeah.
That's where I see them at.
No, I agree. And look, there are teams that could, if Jameis Winston's decent, New Orleans could be really good.
They could be damn good.
Right. So they're a teetering team. You're not really sure exactly how that's going to work with them.
And I'm not ruling out that Drew Brees might not surprise all of us and go back.
Yep.
He might go back.
Yep, I'm not.
Now that he's done with network TV, who's to say he won't go back?
Yeah.
The only thing is he's not coming back to Sean Payton, though.
Hey, look, you look at it. Look at the pass catchers they got down there now. They got Jarvis Landry, Michael Thomas, and they drafted a kid in the first round.
Olave, yeah.
Hey, when has Drew Brees ever had that kind of wealth of talent at the wide receiving? As good as those Saints teams have been in the past, they've got depth down there. And if he comes back, I guarantee you, Dennis Allen, if he's smart, will say, Drew, what do you want to run? That's what you do with a quarterback like Drew Brees.
Yeah.
How can we structure the offense for you? Yep. That's what you do.
I agree. I think they're one of the teams you look at that you're not really sure. I think San Francisco it falls into that category because I think they're a good team defensively. I think they can run the ball. They have Debo.
Yep.
They have Shanahan, who I think is creative, but there's a lot of uncertainty about who the quarterback's going to be. So we don't know what's going to happen there. You start getting beyond that. I think you're starting to reach a little bit. Maybe you could make a case for Minnesota a little bit, but I'm not sold there.
I'm not either. I'm just saying the parity, in the the next level of teams is so iffy because and Eagles are right there also as far as being one of those iffy teams. If the quarterback plays well, they could be one of the upper echelon teams. If he doesn't, he's going to be one of the lower teams. Minnesota's the same way. If they can run the ball, they'll be good. If they don't, they'll be bad. New Orleans, if
Breeze.
If the quarterback plays well, they're going to be good. If he doesn't, they're not going to be good. So
Yeah. Listen, I hear you. And I think the Eagles, you can make a case if you get beyond the big 3, if you will, the Rams, the Bucks,
and Packers.
And the Packers. You get beyond those big 3. If you're trying to look at it objectively, I'd probably go Cowboys, Eagles, kind of neck and neck there. Cowboys, Eagles, Cardinals, and 49ers in the next tier.
Yes.
Would be my next tier.
Absolutely.
With the Saints the Saints did win 9 games last year with all the quarterback turmoil that they had and everything else that went down. They still won as many games as the Eagles won last year.
And Jameis actually
was playing well.
Was playing very well after the 5th game. He got hurt the 5th game?
Something like that, yeah.
And he had them going. They were a very, very impressive team, very impressive offense. I just don't know if he could do that without Sean.
Right. Randall says, what about the Cardinals? And the only thing with the Cardinals is, you're going to be without DeAndre Hopkins for
6 games.
Yeah, maybe a little bit less if they knock it down a little. And they're, I don't know what the dynamic is right now with Kyler Murray and the organization and his teammates as well. And Cliff Kingsbury to me is a guy who falls apart every year. So can I really take him seriously? Do I think they're good? Is it going to be a tough game for the Eagles on the road there? Yeah, 100%. But I don't think they're they're in the big boy category, at least right now, as far as I'm concerned.
No, look at the receivers. They got Hollywood Brown. They got him from Baltimore. They still have AJ Green AJ Green's gonna be their leading receiver.
Yeah, he's a shell of himself.
Rondale Moore, really good from Vandy.
Yeah,
he's real quick. In fact, he's one of those cheetah type receivers. Fast receiver, small. Can play. Then after that, I don't know what they got Zach Ertz. They just paid him a little bit.
Yeah,
they did get Trey McBride, who was probably the best tight end in this draft.
So they're loaded at tight end.
Yeah,
they should be good at tight end.
Yeah. Then James Conner, you know how good he is from Pittsburgh. He's an all-purpose back now. He can catch out the backfield. He can do all this.
He had a good year for them.
Yep.
Bounce back after a tough year with Pittsburgh his last year.
Absolutely. Then on defense, they got Kennard, they got Watt. They'll be able to rush the passer, man. But from the secondary standpoint, they still have Budda Baker. This is to me the Cardinals are an average team. Is I predicate on Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
And they're in a hard division too.
When I look at the NFC, I'm looking at 7 iffy teams. You guys mentioned the word iffy. I'm looking at 7 iffy teams, and that includes Dallas and the Eagles.
Yep.
7. I'm like Dallas, Eagles, Washington, Minnesota.
Yep.
New Orleans, Arizona, San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
So there's 7 iffy teams. Now, any one of those teams could jump up and shock the world.
Yes.
Any one of those teams could. But what if? Everything is what if.
Yeah.
What if Dallas suffers without Amari Cooper at the wide receiver spot? What if Jalen Hurts doesn't live up to expectation? What if Carson Wentz bombs out in Washington? What if Minnesota falters again? If Kirk Cousins lets them down again? What if Drew Brees comes back to New Orleans? What Kyler Murray are we going to see? And who's the quarterback in San Francisco? Is it Garoppolo? Who's your quarterback there?
Yeah, or is it Lance? I don't know.
Trey Lance, So,
yeah, Gunner, it's a great point. The other thing is with Washington, if Wentz, I don't think he's going to, but if he regains his form,
yes,
they have a really good defense.
And they got 3 good pass catchers.
They do. One who's very unhappy, Terry McLaurin, who didn't show up for mandatory minicamp because of his contract issues. But yes, like there's talent there. Their problem is they're a circus. They're an absolute zoo on 100 different levels, right?
Absolutely.
So there's all of that going on, and a quarterback who could go totally south or north. On them.
They have a good running game. Antonio Gibson. You have a good running back. So
good tight end, Logan.
Good
Thomas.
tight end. Yep.
Yeah, who's healthy again? Who got hurt last year? Who's healthy again? Yeah, I mean, look, I think Washington is. There's always that surprise team. I'm not going to say it's them, but there's always that team that kind of steps up here. Was Minnesota? Did they just need a fresh voice and get rid of Zimmer? And are they going to be better now? Because there's a lot of talent there at least on the offensive side. With receiving core and Cook, that team's got some ability. They don't have a terrible offensive line either. So they're one to watch out for, who could be in that second tier mix if they make their move.
Well, see, the only thing, I'm looking at the 49ers and, looking at their roster and then looking at their coaching staff. They lost their offensive coordinator he went to Miami. So now they got their co-offensive coordinators. Chris, was it Forrester and Bobby Slowick?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know anything about those two.
I don't either.
I don't know how you call an offense that way unless you got a run coordinator and a pass coordinator. I like their defense. I like the way DeMeco Ryans is done. And how about that? DeMeco Ryans, from out of nowhere. From out of nowhere, just becomes a defensive coordinator, one of the top defensive coordinators in the league. He'll be up for head coaching jobs next year for sure. For sure. He was that impressive as a coordinator at this level. And young, just this is his first year calling, as a defensive coordinator. So
he had the perfect mentor. He had the perfect mentor in Robert Saleh. So
exactly.
Robert Saleh was a great defensive coordinator for the 49ers.
But they have, you don't know where they're going, man, as far as offensively. Will they be able to call a defense? Because they have some guys out there that can play. Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk was, first round draft choice.
Mm-hmm.
Fell out of favor with Shanahan for a little bit. But, towards the end of the year, he got back into favor and he had some big games for him. They got Deebo Samuels, so they'll be okay from a passing standpoint. Running the rock, they have who's there? Who's the guy that I don't think he's there anymore now. No, he's not there anymore. But they got Elijah Mitchell. I don't know who that is. Elijah Mitchell. But I like their fullback / H-back, Kyle. I forget how you say his name. Juszczyk. Yeah, Kyle
he's
Juszczyk.
a beast. He's a beast.
They still have George Kittle. So they'll
George
be okay.
Kittle is an animal. My goodness.
Yeah, he's a monster.
We know what they got. Armstead, Bosa, all those guys.
All those first-round picks on defense.
Right. So they'll be all right, man. They'll be all right.
You're right. I mean, that's if I think they want it to be Lance, but I ultimately, if Garoppolo's still there, and you're 5 games in and you're 2-3, and he just looks like he needs more time and he's not ready. I don't know if they stick with him, man. Because Shanahan, you remember he was in the hot seat for a little bit last year, and they got it going at the end of the season and got their act together, and he survived it. But if I'm Kyle Shanahan and I know at least Jimmy G can kind of do enough for me, and I got all this other talent here, I'm probably going Jimmy G if that's the case.
I think you have to. Jimmy G is a good manager of games. He's not an elite quarterback, but he can win you games. He's played in big games. He takes care of the football, doesn't make a lot of mistakes with the football. But he's made big mistakes in crucial points of games, especially in playoff games. But I think if he manages their offense well, San Francisco has enough everywhere else to do a lot of damage in their division and their conference. So let me ask you guys this. Who's the one team in the NFC that you will be watching closely because they could upset the apple cart in a lot of ways?
Boy. I'd probably say the Saints.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with that. I would go New Orleans. The unknowns are Dennis Allen takes over. It's no more Sean Payton. How strong does the offense stay? With a non-offensive head coach, and really Jameis. It all comes down to that for me because I think their defense is still really good.
Yep.
Kamara's still there. Good receivers. Yeah, I would say New Orleans would be the one to watch for me.
This is tough. This is tough, man, because I don't know why, man, but I keep going back. I keep going back to Minnesota, man, and I know you like that Christian Kirk, but I just see they have so many weapons, man. They still have a great wide receiver tandem in Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. Thielen was hurt for a little bit last year. He didn't play, but he's back now. You got Dalvin Cook. He'll be back. We all know he can play, man. He's a beast. I like their defense. Their defense is okay. I mean, they got Patrick Peterson. They got Hunter still rushing the passer. You got Eric Kendricks. Eric Kendricks. I like him. And Jordan Hicks just went up there also.
I forgot Hicks went there.
Yeah, Hicks is there now. Yep.
Then they have Smith. Zadarius Smith left Green Bay is now.
Yes, right.
He was their leader in sacks. Yes.
Yeah, he had a phenomenal year. Yep.
To me, they're like the they're that team that they on paper they look like they can fit the bill. They're dangerous on paper, and I really think with Dalvin Cook being back in the mix, they're gonna be good, man. Tight end they got the guy from Alabama, Irv Smith.
Yeah.
So to me, I just think that they're most
Cousins in big moments, though, Barrett.
That's the only thing. Exactly.
I'm talking like he might have 300 yards, but you need that last drive to get a touchdown. Is he going to deliver for you or throw a pick? That's what it is with it. Like his numbers are always going to look good at the end of the day, but in a huge moment, what is he? That's what he's got to prove to you that he can do it in one of those kind of spots. With all the talent in the world, no argument, right? He's got a lot. He's probably got as good a 1-2 core at wideout if Thielen's healthy as anybody.
There's no question about that. And you say what you want to say. He averages like 4,500 to 5,000 yards a year,
and he's always got real good touchdown interception. These numbers are there, man. Numbers are there. Yeah. They're gonna be, and they have an offensive coach. Zimmer's gone now. Zimmer was big on. You remember he fired. Was it Stefanski? Who did he can because they weren't running the ball enough? Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. A couple of years ago. Yeah. I can't remember who.
Or no, it was
that was the old coach.
It was the Eagles offensive quarterback coach, DiFilippo.
Remember
he bagged him?
Yep.
because they weren't getting along because he wasn't being, DiFilippo was being a little bit more aggressive, I think, than Zimmer liked. But you have the O'Connell takes over now, who was an offensive mind. He may have that offense flourishing even more than what they did, in the last couple of years, for sure.
See, I would never admit it openly because, like I've told you guys, my brother is a diehard Vikings fan, but that Vikings team is an interesting team to watch because of all the things that Barrett just mentioned. They have talent on both sides of the ball. They can put up 30 points on you in a hurry. They can play. Under Zimmer, they played rugged defense. He was a defensive-minded coach. They played rugged defense. They have all the tools to upset the apple cart in a lot of ways. But again, you just never know which Kirk Cousins is going to show up in big game moments. He's come up small too many times. He puts up all these gaudy numbers in the regular season and then comes up small when they get to the postseason.
Yeah.
And that's a big concern.
Huge concern.
And my other team would be the 49ers. You got to always watch the 49ers because I think they're the most physical team. Them and the Rams, I think, are the two most physical teams. Tampa Bay is a physical team, but the 49ers and the Rams are physical second to none. And because of the 49ers physical style of play, if Garoppolo doesn't make mistakes, just takes care of the football, they've got the weapons out there as well. 49ers and the Vikings could bump a lot of teams the last couple of weeks of the season.
You know who else? You know who's a little outlier with this too? The Birds.
Yeah.
You throw Hurts in the mix, and he plays. If he just plays at the same level he played at last year, this is a dangerous team. And we know he's going to be better. But if he just plays at this level, the ability to run the rock where they run the rock, stay on time. This defense now stepping it up, because the worst down for our defense was first down. They couldn't stop anybody on first down, which allowed them that, the offense now to playbook go from here to like here because you're going from second and 2, second and 3, second and 4, as opposed to being, second and 10, second and 9. Teams were getting like averaging like 5 or 6 yards on first down. I mean, you could do anything with that. But if they now have this 50 front, or they can have 50 front where they can have Jordan Davis in the middle, right there on their nose, with two guys that can play, with Fletcher Cox and Hargraves right there lined up over the tackles. Lined up over the guards. I'm trying to think of what team they can go out and run on those three stacked in the middle of the defense.
Yeah. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean and Barrett, you're right. That's what and the offensive line, man. They're just going to be so good in the trenches.
Exactly. So they can definitely, man. They'll definitely be able to go out there and impose their will on first down, and that's why they got Jordan to do that type of stuff on first down. They were porous on first down.
Yeah, they
porous. They were running. They were averaging, like I said, 6 or 7 yards on first down. You cannot think that you can run defense and be successful, because now you can open up and do anything on 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 1, and that's what was happening to them. It don't matter how far you put your corners back or how close you have your corners. That's just too easy to get a first down when you're dealing with those type of situations.
No doubt. All right, let's get a timeout here, guys. We'll come back. We'll dig a little bit more into the NBA Finals Game 5 tonight. I'll pose a question for you guys regarding Deshaun Watson. We'll get a little bit more into the live golf that went down this weekend as well. We will dive into all of that when we get back. We are Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. Derek Gunn, Barrett Brooks. I'm Rob Ellis.
Go for the polls and the pools. Go for the oohs and the ahs. Go for the bubbles and the bubbly. Go for the story and the stories. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.
At Action News, we cherish every moment, and it's our profound responsibility to bring you closer to your world. Never miss a moment. Trust the people at Action News.
All right, did you know I was the mommy slam dunk champion?
Really?
Yes, really, don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, I go to left, I fake a mom. Mama go up, up.
She did it.
Again? You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Uh-huh. Go for the midnight dares. Go for the game. Go for the hits. Go for the fans. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Welcome back in, everybody. Sports Take, JAKIB Sports YouTube Network. D. Gunn, Barrett Brooks, Rob Ellis. All right, I got to ask you guys, just to stay on the NFL theme for a minute here, but we'll jump over to the AFC. As we sit here right now on June 13th, do you think that Deshaun Watson will play a game this season in the NFL?
Ooh, great question. I think he will, based on the NFL came out in early May or late April and said, we have just about concluded our investigation into this thing, which means for Cleveland to go out and sign him for $230 million guaranteed. Obviously, if I'm Cleveland, I would have checked with the league and said, okay, what are you people thinking in terms of how you're going to handle this? Which tells me they're going to come down with some kind of decision before the season starts. So the Browns have some kind of an idea that there will be a ruling, maybe not knowing what the length of a suspension might be, but that there will be some kind of ruling and they can move forward to get this thing going and get it over with. How many games could determine where Cleveland is? If 2-4 games, Cleveland still has a shot. If it's 6-8 games, Cleveland, people are going to look at that as wasted money paying a quarterback who's not playing for you. So I think the Browns have a good idea that somebody's going to come down with the ruling before training camp is over.
Okay, Barrett.
I think he will. I think it'll start out harsh with him. They're probably going to say about 10 games, which means he has 7 games he can play. That's just, and then I think he'll peel it and get right around 6 games. So I do think that he's going to play this year. And he has the least amount of money he can have taken from him this year, because I think it's like $1 million that they'll be able to take from him as far as what they'll take from for the fines. But I mean, at the end of the day, they wouldn't have made this type of deal if they didn't know he wasn't going to get a substantial one, not like an entire season. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna go the other way on this. I don't think he does, simply because the league may think, may agree with everything that you guys just said. I mean, the Browns organization may as well. However, what the Browns and the league can't control is another woman filing a civil suit against him. Another report coming out like the New York Times had last week. like these things, whether they're,
what exactly did the report say? What did the report say?
It talked about the amount of massages that he had it was like 66 in a 17-month period. It talked about how the Houston Texans essentially set up a room in a hotel for him. The women gave accounts of what went down that were very similar to some of the other stuff, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I understand like this isn't court of law, charges being filed stuff, but it doesn't have to be that for Goodell just to say, keep this guy on ice. That's why I think I just sense, because there was a woman who just came out last week or the week before?
Right.
And, another one comes out. You just don't know is my only point. And there's a lot of uncertainty around that. And if you don't know when these things keep, like, let's say it's week 2 and another one drops on a Wednesday, like that's just a bad look for the league, for the team, for him, for all of them. So I don't know, man. He may not. It's crazy. It could go down as the all-time worst signing and worst trade ever by Cleveland.
Right.
Very well could.
Right.
It's all guaranteed.
But there's a lot of accusations, but nothing has been. He hasn't been charged with anything at this point.
Charge no. You're right.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm saying the league can't keep him you can't keep him out of the league on speculation alone. You can't, because then he has the right to file a lawsuit against the league. So you can't do that. So that's why I said they're going to hit him with X amount of games, but the amount of games will determine whether or not Cleveland is a viable playoff team, or if it's people will look at it as a waste of money. If he only plays 8 games for them, and say he has a stipulation in his contract that of that $230 million, how much is guaranteed? $230, the full $230.
Yep. Yeah, well, his salary for this year is like nothing. So if he gets fined and misses games, it doesn't hurt him nearly as much as it would in later years and stuff.
So let's just say he gets guaranteed half that money. That's still a lot of money.
Oh, no doubt.
That's a lot of money, even if he just got half of that. But again, we don't know, because we're still sitting here with bated breath, waiting for the league to tell us exactly what they're going to do to him.
Well, I mean, let's face it. The league essentially has about 6 weeks here to figure this thing out before they report to camp, because you're going to need him to report for camp. It's his first year with the organization. You're going to need the guy there. And the other fascinating part of this, guys, is Mayfield's still on that roster.
Yep.
He's still there. Do they view this as, we're going to keep the ultimate insurance policy? So if we do get, bagged here by Roger Goodell and this is a either season long or massive suspension, hey, we still have a starter there in Baker Mayfield. Granted, this guy's miserable, doesn't want to be there, doesn't want any parts of you. But do you think they would even attempt that?
If you're smart from a business standpoint, you keep Baker Mayfield. From an ethical standpoint, you get rid of Baker Mayfield as soon as you can, because even if he's a starting quarterback, it's in the back of his mind that when this guy's cleared, my starting tenure is over. Mm-hmm. That only creates more dissension among the ranks.
Yep.
Then you're going to cause a division in a locker room. And if they're fighting for a playoff spot, the last thing you want is a bunch of guys taking sides, either the side of Deshaun Watson or the side of Baker Mayfield, and you have a horde of media. Because if you get closer to the playoffs and you're still in contention, you're going to have more outside media coming to your practices. And they're not going to treat these players with kid gloves. The first thing they're going to say when they throw a mic in your face, do you think he should be starting? You don't need that kind of distraction. So that's why I say cut bait. And whoever your backup is, if you have to, go with them. But you gotta get rid of Baker Mayfield, because Baker Mayfield is going to make waves once he knows that my starting is only temporary.
I think
they can't, though. They can't, because it'll cost too much against their cap if they do. That's the only reason why he's still in the squad.
Well, they've been desperately trying to trade him, and nobody wants his contract. So I think they're either going to have to come to the point where they realize, we're going to trade him for a bag of balls and have to eat almost all of this, or just cut him, because every team is waiting this out. If you're Seattle or one of those teams that actually needs a quarterback, you're saying, we know they need to get rid of him. We know he doesn't want to be there, but why should we give anything up? We're not going to give anything up, and we can get them on dirt cheap because they're stuck with the bill. So that's the way those teams are looking at it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how that shakes itself out for sure. But as I mentioned, Terry McLaurin, guys, is holding out, at least right now. He hasn't reported to mandatory minicamp. He's not there. He's unhappy with his contract.
Wouldn't you?
100%. I don't know why that wasn't taken care of. Well, I know why. It's Washington. But any good organization would have taken care of him. That dude's too good to be playing these games with. But it doesn't surprise me.
I mean, look at all these receivers getting paid. You know, did DK Metcalf go to camp?
Well, Barrett, think about it. If you're McLaurin, you're seeing guys like
Christian Kirk,
who he's 1,000 times better than. Right. And he's saying, I'm putting my body on the line when dudes like this are getting paid like this. My own organization won't take care of me. No way. I don't blame him one bit.
It's been a number one for the past 3 years.
100%.
You know,
he was underdrafted, and since he's gotten there, he's been one of the better receivers in the NFL.
No question.
So he should get paid. Lamar Jackson did show up for Ravens mandatory minicamp. He showed up for his physical today, and he will take part. There was some questions whether or not. Yeah. So there you go.
Well, he didn't. The whole contract negotiation stuff was not on his part. I mean, it's not on the Ravens' part. He just didn't want to go through this season. He wanted to prove to them that he belongs to be one of the top quarterbacks. And it was more so him dragging his feet about it.
Mm.
It's not like he didn't want to go to they didn't want to go take him to the table. They've been trying to take him to the table.
Mm-hmm.
He just didn't want to go there yet. You know, it was more so him not going to the table to really put himself in a situation to get paid.
He's
That's
unique.
Kind of crazy.
He doesn't have an agent. It's him and his mother, basically.
Right.
Like, I don't know. And I'm guessing there's probably an attorney that looks through everything and, I's are dotted, T's are crossed and all that. But whenever it's a situation like that, it can tend to get a little sketchy, to say the least, when you don't have an agent involved.
It absolutely is sketchy. You know, me negotiating my contract.
Did you do your own, Barrett? Did you not?
Yes.
Oh, even when you were a rookie?
No. Now I'm talking about now that I'm not.
Oh,
playing.
now. Post football.
That's why I'm not making any money.
According to your wife, you're making lunch money.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you didn't help me out at all.
Yeah, Barrett, you might want to think about hiring an agent. I'm just saying, man.
Right.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Well, I mean, I was going from counseling with D Gunn. I'm gonna have to use you next time. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to work out my contract. How about that?
Let's go. Barry, you're firing Derek? You're fired?
He's fired. He's fired.
Do you know that, Derek? You're out?
I would have to say that I took my client's best interest at heart. I did what I could for him.
There's only so much you can do. Is that what you're trying to say?
But because of his limitations, it handcuffed me at the negotiating table.
Wow. That is rough, man. That is rough. All right. So aside from that, we got Game 5 of the NBA Finals tonight. When last we saw, as we mentioned a little bit earlier, Steph Curry went crazy in the Garden, and Golden State tied the series up at 2. So basically, here's what it comes down to now. It's a best of 3, 2 of those games at Golden State. That's kind of where we're at right now with this team. And we've seen really good efforts out of Boston, like the comeback in Game 1 and the way that they played in Game 3, and really good efforts out of Golden State. So where do we stand here? Who ultimately takes this series?
I still think the Celtics will be world champion.
Okay. Barrett's still going with the C's. He had it before the series started. Okay.
The fact that Golden State stole Game 4, I'm leaning towards Golden State now. You have 2 shots out of the last 3 at home. And now that Boston had them dead to rights, Boston could very easily be up 3-1. But now you've given Golden State new life. And they're going home. And like I said off the top of the show, I believe they take a 3-2 series lead tonight when the dust settles. And the way Steph Curry is putting his team on his back, that man scored 43 points. But the bigger picture is he had 10 rebounds. This little wispy guard had 10 rebounds. He just took it on himself and said, you know what? You guys follow me. I'm going to do this. And I just love the way he plays the game, the way he attacks the game. I think he's going to will them to another championship. I do.
Yeah, it sort of feels that way to me too. And I know that Klay Thompson's been up and down, but he's talked about how, he went through 3 years of rehabbing Achilles and ACLs and all that. And he doesn't care what his numbers look like. He just wants to win a championship. That's going to be interesting. But, Boston, to me, Barrett, with that defense, man, I just can't count them out right now. I'm with Derek. I hope they lose, but I can't count them out with that defense. But Tatum's got to put his big boy pants on here.
Absolutely. And on the side, you look at the fact that they can score at will, and the defense of keeping them from doing it. I mean, I didn't think there was one team that can stop Curry, Clay, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Poole, all those guys, and they've had the ability to do it. You know, they're usually up. They've been up for the most part. They've been a dominant team for the most part in these series.
No question about it. All right, so the NHL Finals, the Stanley Cup Finals are set now. It's going to be the Lightning making their third straight appearance at the Stanley Cup Finals, going against the Avalanche. This sets up to be the best matchup you could have had, in my opinion, as far as talent goes. This is going to be a good one, man. And Tampa's been they're a mini dynasty. You know, they win one. They win it again this year. You're gonna have to start putting them in any conversation here with the great NHL teams.
I agree.
They're right there. Yeah.
And because they're not in a hockey city, it's easy to overlook the fact that they are the back-to-back defending champs. I had to look at that twice to make sure I was looking at it right.
I know.
I was like, wait a minute. And here they are again in their third consecutive Stanley Cup Finals. I tell you what, that's unprecedented. We don't see that happen in today's hockey.
Mm-hmm.
But man, are they talented. Oh my goodness. I love watching them skate up and down the ice. Man, are they talented.
Yeah.
They complement each other well. Their lines are easily three deep in lines. And I expect this to be a great series. Colorado's had a great season.
Yep.
I expect it to be a high scoring affair, to be honest with you.
Same here, man. Same here. All right, I got to ask you guys, it was on YouTube. It wasn't on, major networks or any of that. Did either one of you watch any of the Live Golf? It was played in London this week. I didn't either. I saw some highlights, but I didn't actively follow it or anything like that. The the PGA Tour director, Jay Monahan, I think is his name. He basically came out and just crushed some of these guys who jumped over there to the LIV. I think some of that is just sort of flexing. He's the commissioner, PGA commissioner. He is some flexing on his part, just try to downplay it for sure. But he's doing everything he can to defend his turf. But they suspended all those guys, not surprisingly, who played in it. They're all suspended at this point.
Nobody cares.
17
cares.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. Go ahead. Keep suspending. All you're going to do is tick off more golfers. The golfing is a big fraternity. You suspend my buddy. You know what? I'm going over where my buddy is now.
Right.
And the more you tick off, the more you alienate, the more crow you're going to have to eat. And somewhere along the line, you're going to have to revamp your stance on what players can and cannot do, because the names are the livelihood of your sport. There are a lot of people that are just golfing gurus that just want to say they stood out at Doral and they got a chance to walk Amen Corner. But, when the big names start dropping and going elsewhere, your product's going to suffer. So you better decide real quick. You keep piling up the suspensions, you're going to pile up a lot of ticked off golfers who's going to buck the system eventually.
Yeah, I just wonder, because there's so much money, and I know a lot of this is, hey, people saying, you want that blood money, and I get it. Listen, I completely get it. What we're talking about here with the people who run this thing. But I just don't know if athletes, and I'm not even knocking them for this, are willing to dig that deep. I mean, you're throwing hundreds of millions of dollars at some of them to do less than they would have to do on the PGA Tour. And I just think they're going to continue to grab it. I really do.
If I could finish 12th, 14th, 15th, and I'm guaranteed to make more money than if I have to struggle to try to win a tournament, the choice is easy.
Yeah.
The choice is very easy.
Absolutely easy.
Yep. No question about it. No question. All right.
Hey, I want to, and not before, not to cut you off, but I just want to go back and make a point of the finals between Boston and Golden State. Something I mentioned off the top of the show. I said, and this has been driving me nuts. If you watch when they're rotating the ball around the arc, trying to find the open man, and they'll pass it inside to a guy who's open in the paint. Instead of going up with a shot, watch the guy turn his back to the bucket and kick it back outside. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yes.
And this is both teams.
100%.
You got guys that have 2 or 3 feet of space in the paint, and instead of going up for the bunny shot, they're kicking it back outside for a more difficult shot. What are you doing?
They're driving in for what would be a floater or a finger roll.
Yes.
And they're kicking it all the way to the corner or spinning and doing like a 180 and kicking it back out to the top of the key. I'm sorry. Like if you can guarantee me whatever the percentages of that 2-footer has got to be higher than what the 3 is. And I know you're getting one more point out of the 3, but that's analytics basketball at its finest right there. It drives me nuts.
That's absolutely what it is. That's why at this point, I don't think Embiid on the open market will be as much as we think, because we're Embiid and Philly fans. You know, you have a guy that, you know, to dominate down low, and the game isn't played that way anymore. Getting 2 points just doesn't make sense to these younger players now. I mean, for them to drive to the bucket and have a little layup right there, instead you throwing it, kicking it back out to potentially a guy that's going to miss it from farther away, it just doesn't make sense to me. But it's just, and especially when you're playing a team like Golden State, I don't know why they're doing that. I don't know why the Celtics are doing that, but that's totally why they won the 2 games they won, from driving to the bucket and finishing at the cup.
Yes.
When you start thinking like, you start thinking like Golden State does, then you start shooting threes when you don't have to. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just keep being consistent. And maybe one of those guys is off and not consistent. You keep on moving, you keep on shaking, you keep driving to the bucket. It frustrates them as a team. I don't why they. I mean, that's what irritated me the most in the last 5 minutes of the last game they lost.
Yeah,
they stopped driving it to the cup.
Yes.
They stopped
Yes.
playing fundamental basketball. You know, that helped them get there. You know, come on, I don't need my big man shooting a 3. I need him to be down there just getting a little, layup. And plus with Green being as frustrated, now you got Green out the game. It should be easy to score down there.
Yeah.
And Golden State scored 17 of the last 20 points in that game.
Ridiculous.
17 of the last 20 is a telltale sign. Jason Tatum, we talk about players who have been off this series. Klay Thompson has been off this series, and Jason Tatum has been inconsistent. He had 23 points. He only had 1 bucket in the entire fourth quarter.
Yep.
Boston is not going to win this series with Tatum scoring 1 bucket in the fourth quarter.
You know what's interesting for a guy who's really elevated into superstar status? He's not taking the heat that most superstars would take.
No, not at all.
Exactly.
Think about this. If the tables were turned and it was Steph not delivering late in games, he'd be getting killed for this.
You know why,
bro?
Right now. He's from St. Louis, man. Of course not.
He's definitely not getting the heat, man. That's for sure. Hey, so that's a 4-point game tonight. So the Warriors are -4 over the Celtics tonight. So just for whatever that's worth, if you dig into those things, if you're looking at it. Derek, I did want to mention, you were talking about this during our pre-show meeting.
Yes.
And I looked at the video after you brought it up. That hit, I guess was it Saturday in the USFL game?
Oh,
yeah. Let's talk about it a little bit.
I'm just trolling on Twitter, and I'm hearing people talk about this hit. Now, supposedly, this guy, Cody Brown of the Philadelphia Stars. Now, you look at the video,
yeah,
and you see a guy coming around the end with the ball running down the sideline.
Right.
And this Cody Brown comes from out of nowhere and lays a hit. And I'm thinking, first I thought it was helmet to helmet. Then you see he caught him with a shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next scene you see is the guy that got leveled, and I mean leveled. You see him on the sideline
in the air.
Out teeth. Yeah, his feet up in the air. He's spitting out teeth, and one of the teeth he spit out was a wisdom tooth.
Oh,
I'm thinking, how do you knock out a wisdom tooth?
Bruh.
Dude, this hit was devastating.
That bad boy must have been close to coming out. I mean, at some point, but still, that's incredible, man. Yeah.
It's a man's sport, man.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, that hit right there. I looked at it, man. And I thought it was helmet to helmet too. I thought he hit him with his helmet.
Yeah, if you get a chance to go back and look at it, man, it is nasty. It is.
And there was no helmet in it. It was no helmet at all in it.
I couldn't tell. It looked like a lot of shoulder, but Derek, you don't think he got any helmet there?
No, I looked at it and they showed different angles. The first shot you see, that's helmet to helmet. Then you see another angle where he catches him with the shoulder, so it doesn't look like it's helmet to helmet. But dude, that was like an old school NFL type hit. Back in the day when you were allowed to play football the way it was meant to be.
It had 70s Raiders written all over it.
Goodness, man. That was one of them Ronnie Lott, Jack Tatum type hits.
Yeah, babe. Woo! Yeah. I was like, woo!
Yeah. I haven't. Have you guys watched any of that? I haven't.
I have.
I watched a couple games. Yeah, I've watched a couple games, man. Football is football. And, it's about time that the NFL got a farm league that they can use to go pick up more talent than – because, I mean, it's been long overdue. I mean, they've tried, but to no avail. I mean, I hope this league sticks out and it's because it's not a gimmick league. It's not a gimmick. There's no gimmicks to it. I believe too much, with that wrestling stuff. There was too many gimmicks trying to, get them over the top. You don't need gimmicks for pure football. And I think this is the closest thing to pure football that you can get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
wonder if I know they play all their games in Birmingham, and I know it's cheaper that way. You get the players in a hotel, right? I get it. If they don't go back to the way the USFL was back in the day, where Philadelphia has a team, they're really playing here or whatever every city. I don't know. I think some of it's this is like a test pilot. They're like casting the reel out there to see what this is going to look like this year. I hope it does well enough. I'm with you, Barrett. I would I saw enough guys, including like Philip Walker, who got chances in other leagues and made it happen in the NFL, which I like that kind of underdog story.
And plus, it'll help these kids that, some guys just aren't meant to go to college. Right. And you're asking the kid to go. I mean, you might not be a guy that's going to go to college. So that prevents you from having an opportunity to make it to the NFL. You got to wait 3 years. Why not these kids play, in this league? And, because, not everybody does that, bro. Not everybody goes to college just to have a college education. I didn't go to college to be a broadcaster. Right. I went to college. I went to got degrees. Yeah. But I wasn't going to be a broadcaster. What if these kids are like, all right, well, I want to be, something other than that? Yeah, you got to give them an opportunity, man. If they want to play football.
Hey, quick question for you guys. When I say the name Trey Burton, what does that mean to you?
Philly special.
So I just got a text from him, and he said he's agreed to come on this Thursday at 2 p.m.
All right.
Thursday, 2 p.m. Trey Burton. Barrett Brooks sent me the number. Said, D-Gun, do you know him? I said, yeah, I know him. So I hit him up. And he just texted me. He goes, hey, I'm sorry I didn't get your text early. I just got back from fishing. He said, what about Thursday? I said, can you do 1 or 2 p.m.? He said 2. Boom.
Great.
Trey Burton. I'll text him back. What type of fishing did he get?
Oh, that just
we'll say that for Thursday. But did you know his grandfather is an Olympian? Was an Olympic runner?
I didn't.
Do your homework between now and then. Do your homework.
All right, we're on it. Hey, speaking of guests, tomorrow, Kyle Neptune, Villanova head basketball coach, Tom McCarthy, our first guest of the show back in the day. Tom will be joining us at 1, and of course, the one and only Brian Mitchell at 2:00. So we got a stacked show for you tomorrow. I want to thank our producer, Xander Krause. Xander, great job producing the program. Gents, it was fun. We're back tomorrow at the same time. Good job, Barrett, Derek, and of course, everybody who streamed, everybody who listened, all our friends in the comment section. Tell a friend.
And you guys try to be professional in the future, please. Try to be more professional.
I can't guarantee
because you guys.
I can't make any promises.
You guys bring me down and make me look bad. I'm trying to be professional here.
Good luck. Good luck with that. All right, so that'll do it for us today. Everybody have a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow at noon. We are Sports Day.
Go for the polls and the pools. Go for the oohs and the ahs. Go for the bubbles and the bubbly. Go for the story and the stories. Go for the win. Go to Ocean Casino Resort. Book your trip at theoceanac.com.
Field of life, First Trust Bank is there for you.
Champions on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Because Philadelphia dreams deserve a Philadelphia bank.
At Stateside Vodka, every new customer gets the world's best rocks glass, free.
You're telling me that bottle is cut in half?
You could say that.